All right, everyone. Hope you're all doing good today. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Speedruns From the Crypt, your bi-weekly horror hotfix. I'm your host, Dices, and before we begin, let me just tell you that as we start our revamped hotfix seasons, you can join the official GDQ Discord and add the new hotfix role. And you can keep tabs on all the upcoming events, shows, talk with staff and showrunners, and all that jazz. You can use !Discord and Twitch chat to find out more information. And those of you on YouTube, well, come on over and feel free to like, comment the video, all that, you know. Anyway, for Speedruns from the Crypt today, I thought we'd get a bit thematic. Mother's Day is coming up in the US, and what better way to celebrate than featuring horror games that I guess kind of focus on motherhood. Although I guess this is kind of a twisted and warped view in a sense, because maybe horror games aren't the best way of doing this. But, you know, the themes are themes. So, today we're going to be looking at a few games that, like I said, all kind of have some semblance of motherhood, whether it be good or bad. To kick things off, we're going to be diving into a more modern game, but a pretty fun one to watch and kind of unique because you don't see a lot of horror games like this. We're going to be seeing a horror platformer. We're going to be having Little Nightmares Any Percent with Simon. Take it away.
Yes, thanks for having me. So, my name is Simon, and I run Little Nightmares from time to time. And so I'm going to be running Little Nightmares Any Percent, and I also happen to have the world record for it. So, I mean, yeah, let me just get set up here, and I can start the countdown. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is us. And so, yeah, basically, our movement is pretty simple, as it seems at least, but there's also hidden stamina mechanics, so sometimes you'll see me walking around, and that's because I don't want to waste stamina, basically. And so, yeah, depending on if you sprint or not, or if you're sliding like that, stamina might be a bit different. So yeah, the start of the game is pretty simple. You just run to the right. I mean, that's kind of the whole game. So here I'm gonna press slightly up, so I lose less speed because of the stairs, because they're kind of poorly made. And so, for example, here I need to walk a bit because I'm out of stamina, almost. So first skip, I guess, here. Nice. So yeah, you skip putting the chair, so yeah, that saves time, of course. So we're going up on the next little trick. It's called Zero Hop, and what it means is essentially once you get down to very low stamina, you can jump before you get speed capped. So I'm gonna try. So you're not supposed to move at this speed when you have low stamina. You can actually move a lot faster than sprint, but yeah, you have to lose all of your stamina. So it's not applicable everywhere, but it's pretty useful. It's like 50% faster than sprinting, or actually double, and 50% faster than sprint jumping, which is supposed to be the fastest, so that's pretty good. Yeah, a little more parkour coming up. Yeah, this part is a little scary. Oops. Okay. I need to be pretty fast here, otherwise you're gonna die. Yep, okay. And reset checkpoints, so you spawn on the right side of the room. And up there you can see Roger, aka the janitor, so he's gonna keep us company in the 2 chapters at the start, and then, well, you'll see what happens. So I guess coming up is another trick And what it is a zip, and basically how you do it is when 6 tries to grab something that's partially obscured, then the game will kind of like teleport you to it, except sometimes it doesn't exactly work as intended. So let's hope that I can get a good zip here. Good. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, I've never seen the block do that before, but it still works, so that's nice. It was like perfectly balanced or something. But yeah, so that's like 3 times 0 hop speed, which is kind of funny. But yeah, you skip the entire puzzle basically by just teleporting almost. Coming up is the first hunger section, so in certain parts of basically each chapter except the last one, 6 will get hungry and then you'll go very slowly basically. So what you want to do is trip over these areas, so you just skip the entire animation. That saves like a minute over the course of the entire run. Oh, nice. Got a really fast one there. Yeah, this one, there's no point in skipping because you just need to wait anyway. Red. Okay, so coming up there's another 0 hop section, so I'm gonna try to cross the gap, but yeah, we'll see when we get there. Nice. Pretty good. I mean, I don't even hit that in runs all the time, so... So there's another little skip. Because, yeah, you're supposed to just go around but with some precise inputs. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay, nice. Sometimes you can like fall off if you jump from that far away, but okay, so the next skip is pulley skip. So basically we have to backtrack a little bit. Oh, wait, grab it. So yeah, normally you're supposed to turn off the power here, so I mean we're still gonna turn off the power, but and then you're supposed to go through those bars because they won't kill you anymore. But yeah, that's a bit slow, so we're just gonna go back to the right because that's where we need to go anyway. So let's see if I can get the risky version first. Nice. And okay, I'm popping off right now, but okay. Really fast start. What can I say?
So I just have to ask, you just YOLO that?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I just know how to do it, so whatever.
Huh. For anyone who maybe newer to Little Nightmares speedrunning, the safer strat normally I think is like you touch the wall in a certain way and then you drop onto like a closer platform and then you have to like maneuver your way, but you just full sent it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, I guess I didn't really explain how it works because it goes, like, there's so many skips. But yeah, basically there are spots on the boxes where you can land, but the game doesn't consider you to land, so you kind of just remove your vertical speed and then, or yeah, you kind of go up a bit and then the game recalculates your fall damage when you actually land and then it's not lethal anymore. Something like that. I'm not the developer of this game, so I don't know exactly how they calculate it, but it seems to be like a high difference and not speed or time or whatever. So I guess you change the height difference and then you don't die. But yeah, there are 2 spots and I just full sent the risky spots because, you know, I have a setup for that. But the safe one is pretty fast too. If you compare the best case, then you will, like, I don't know, lose 2 seconds on the safe one. I can get the risky one pretty consistently, so I just went for it, and if I failed, then I would have gone for safe probably. So yeah, just a bit of waiting here for the elevator. And there is actually an interesting strat in this chapter. If you go left at the start of the chapter, you can just jump out of bounds. It's funny, but yeah. And then fall all the way down, and if you find, like, if you could get one of those spots where you don't take fall damage, then you could just go basically straight into the next section without the elevator, and then yeah, it doesn't quite work out because the elevator doesn't come down by itself unless you have specific circumstances. So nice. Oh, yeah, that one is the second worst probably of all the hungers. So yeah, this is what happens. And the worst hunger is probably the second kitchen hunger. I'm curious if I'm gonna hit that one, but we're not in kitchen yet, so anyway, someone just left some food for us here. Sure, hope nothing bad will come of it. Yeah. So now we get teleported to the left, like all the way to the left of the map, and now we have to run back to the elevator. That's basically how it goes. There's also a chance he can knock over that gauge and yeah, then it's a problem. So especially if you have like fluctuating FPS, then he can knock over that gauge on the right and you won't be able to progress if you're a casual player. But if you speedrun, then you know that you can go climb in the back and then jump from there. Or maybe you didn't know that if you were a speedrun of this game, but you can. Okay, so now we're gonna meet Roger again. So yeah, there's a specific strat here. You just kind of keep jumping, and then you just jump like this, and he goes and investigates the noise because he's blind. Then I can just escape. There's also like a 1% chance you die there just by landing. Well, actually not 1%. Depends on your input as well, but it's pretty scary. Okay, so in the shoe room, basically if you... Let's see. Oh, nice, I got it. So you can slide when you land, save a bit of extra time. Okay, didn't get the second one. Usually I get the second one and not the first one, but okay. Oops. Okay, so now we're going back to the elevator. But yeah, if you go out of bounds at the start and then somehow manage to survive, then the elevator might not be there, so you just die. So it's... yeah, there's like... if you go out of bounds and somehow survive, which we haven't been able to figure out yet, then you could also go to the meat and then get captured, and then the elevator does come down by itself. Yeah, that's weird behavior. Who comes up with this? I guess it's like a failsafe, but I don't know. If you jump on this monkey... okay, wait, didn't work. That's just gonna play it safe. I might have gotten a checkpoint already, but yeah, if you jump on the monkey just in the right way, then the box just flips over. Wait, am I gonna die here? Yeah, okay. Whatever, I had to... should have just restarted. Whatever, the checkpoint is right here. Yeah, this is the strat. It's kind of the same as on the left before. Nice, so you can also jump into the vents like that if you're precise enough. And you can also slide after that to even get even more distance, which is a lot faster than just crawling through. Okay, nice. Oops. Okay. Okay, so let's see if I have a good piano cycle. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe if I was playing more aggressively, then I would have preferred it a bit further along, but this also works. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump over Roger in a specific way. Oh. And for some reason you can just go through here, I'm not sure. Like, I think on my casual playthrough I did go like climb the bookshelves or whatever, but yeah, just go through. Go. Ooh, that's kind of close, but okay. And yeah, also in this section, like 3 different Rogers spawn, so the one who just walked up to me isn't the same one as before, and also now a new one like spawned in the television room. Did I get 2.5 already? Or it's probably fine. Or like, yeah. Forgot to count. Oops. Okay. Yeah, pretty scared of pulling it that close to the steam, because sometimes you zip backwards into it, and that's no fun. Okay, so I guess I can start explaining the end of this chapter. So basically, we're gonna fight Roger, and there's a strat to basically kill him almost instantly. So I'm gonna try to do that. So right here we can jump over his hands instead of waiting. If I did, yeah. I went a bit late there, but it's fine. That's not good. I hope I still get have enough time. Probably. Yep. Okay, so if you pull the bar early enough, then he just won't be able to attack you because reasons. Basically, if you pull it before he arrives, then he will arrive, but then the arms just don't work. Okay. If you get a jump and a slide there, then you could go for the probably newest strat that exists. So if you see the hook over there, then you could reach that one, and this one is not grabbable, so you have to grab this one instead. But if you do the strat, then you can basically skip 2 hook cycles. I think it's 10 seconds, so... But yeah, it's 18 minutes in and pretty freaking hard. So I think the No Major Glitches run has it, or the world record. I'm not sure if it's a world record yet, but... So there's a hunger here, and I'm crouching under the trigger, so you don't even have to trip. That's nice. Okay, went a bit too much forward. But yeah, this one is definitely the worst hunger, because there's not that obvious of a visual cue for it. And for this one you just have to jump as far as possible, and I got the second worst distance. But yeah, we're just gonna snack a bit, so we're not as hungry as before. But yeah, it's ironic that this is in a kitchen, so yeah. You wouldn't expect to be hungry in a kitchen, but here we are. Okay, so the biggest skip of all is coming up, which I found 3 years ago. And it's a kitchen clip, so there's a pretty big backtracking section here. So you have to go for a key and then run all around, etc. And yeah, if I can do it correctly, then I can just skip all of that. So let's try. Okay, nice. Yep, so that saves about 1.5 minutes. It's pretty good. Oh god, I don't have any stamina. Nice. Okay, so these are the meats. You can kind of manipulate them so they fall in. Oh. Where I have to go? It rolls right in, of course. I think I've gotten better at that one over time. I can also jump here, which is pretty nice. Okay, and now 2.25 times, and you can again continue. So yeah, this is probably the easiest vent jump in existence, and also slide. Okay, so the second clip is coming up, which is a bit harder. Well, there's some disagreement about which one is harder, but I always say that if you think the first one is harder, then you're not doing the setup correctly, but it's a controversial statement. Oh, that's okay, nice. And then there's also this thing. Yep. Yeah, that's just kind of a jump there. Saves a lot of time actually. Oops. And this one is also a pretty big skip. So you just grab the hook, go to the end, and then it teleports you all the way back to the start of where the hooks come from, basically. Oh. Yep. Yeah, just break the entire level, basically. Okay, so the next part is the hull, which is its own map, but it's not a chapter, so it's just part of the kitchen de facto. But yeah, it just has the best zero-up section ever. Oh, and I messed it up, of course. Still kind of good, because before zero-up you had to like run all the way, no jumps, and then walk a bit, I think, which is quite slow, so that just saves a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty nice view, especially if you enable medium post-processing, because then otherwise there will be a lot of glare and you won't be able to see a lot, especially when you like first come out of there. Ding. Right. Okay, so the next chapter will be the guest area. So you've already seen them arriving. So I've got to be a bit quick here so I don't miss a cycle, but yep, that seems fine. So we'll see her later. Okay, we got the cycle pretty easily. And so here there's another zero-hop section. Short one. So there are also stamina regeneration triggers, so you can just get back to 100%. It's quite convenient. Okay, so the next skip after this little... What the hell was that? Okay. After this little trick, there's a sausage skip, found by Distortion 2. Nice. Oh. Okay, almost died, but yeah. So yeah, basically what happens is you bump into the sausage and then you grab it after you bump into it. So, like, I'm not sure who coded the physics, but yeah, I guess you get that angular velocity, but then your own mass is added to it, so you just get more force or something like that. That's the best explanation I can think of. Like, it doesn't scale your angular stuff back or something. I'm not a physicist, so yeah. I'm gonna do a quick restart here, and the reason for it is that there's something I like to call the chase flag. So in certain areas of the game Oh wait, let me do this first. So yep. So in certain areas of the game, there's like a trigger that allows you to do jumps that you shouldn't be able to. So you go a little bit faster if you run out of stamina. And it's usually during a chase, so it's probably added so casual players don't die because they run out of stamina, which is, I mean, it's a hidden mechanic, so yeah. I guess they didn't, they wanted to extend some grace to the player, but for us it's just a bit slow because it disallows zero hop, so that's why I just remove it if I can. And that's what the restart was for, the checkpoints. Okay, that was not entirely intended. Okay, I wanted to be a bit too fast. Got a little greedy, but it's fine. Because I'm pretty sure I have basically made no mistakes, so whatever. We just get to watch this awesome chase scene again. Okay, last hunger section. These ones are pretty easy because maybe I jumped onto it. Okay, that should be good. But yeah, the ones in like that I missed, basically, yeah, those have more variable timing. So you might just miss your trip, or you might just do the perfect trip, but then, oh yeah, by the way, this is just putting him to sleep, by the way, so yep, he's sleeping. But yeah, the last hungers basically had no random time added to it or whatever. So this is another skip. If I can even get the time, yeah, okay, sure. Good. So yeah, I'm curious how the lore fanatics of this game are gonna explain that one, but somehow I'm just alone when I arrive here. Curiously. So yeah, this is the last chapter. The ladies' quarters. And basically just consists of running around and not dying at this point. And yeah, I think I've gained so much time on my estimate that I might as well just go for some epic strats. Magic. So yeah, the next trick that I'm gonna try, it's called super slide. So it's basically a zip, but then also infinite slides. Yeah, I mean, oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna try a couple more times, but it can be a bit tricky. Okay, one more time. Okay, it didn't quite work. But yeah. Basically, it allows you to do a zip and then just keep sliding forever. It's kind of funny. Okay, so we're coming up on the boss fight, and in true LN fashion, it's not that hard. It's like probably one of the easier parts of the game, as long as you know what you're doing. So basically she's gonna move in a bunch of patterns, and yeah, I mean, so the first two are opposite of where you look. So I just know if I aim up left, then she's gonna approach from the right. And then for this one, if I aim up right, then she's gonna come from the left. And based on the music, I also know when it's gonna happen, so yeah, no surprises here. And then the rest is just a fixed pattern, so down left, down right, left, up. And so yeah, time is coming up in 3 of those mirror attacks, I guess. But I'll call it again when it happens, so. About 5 seconds, I think. Maybe a bit more, but... And... time!
GG.
Nice. And yeah, the reason it doesn't go on for longer is the rest is just an auto-scroller, which was decided a long time ago that it wouldn't be part of the run, but I think it's like 3 minutes.
At the very least, if you want to celebrate with walking up to our friend over there, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, okay. I don't know where the hungers are. Like somewhere around here. Or are there even hungers here? I don't even remember, to be honest.
You know, it never occurred to me that you can actually skip the hungers in this part.
Num num num. What would you do in this situation?
Which one?
It's like one of those.
Am I the one on the ground, or am I the one?
It's like the meme where there's like a tiger biting someone's neck, and it's like, "What would you do?" And everyone is just like, "Die."
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, bro.
All right, good run. So really quick, Simon, a couple questions for you. One, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give? And 2, if anyone wanted to watch more of you or find more Little Nightmares runs from you, where can they find you?
So my shout outs pretty much gonna be the Little Nightmares speedrunning community. It's a pretty awesome community. And not too small, not too big. And well, my stream, my Twitch is basically my name but with an underscore, because somebody already took like the non-underscore version. And my YouTube is just my name that you're probably seeing right now on screen. I can see it, but yeah, that's where you can find me. So
all right, well, thank you once again for that wicked run of Little Nightmares. It was definitely a bit wild seeing you nail some of those tricks. I always like seeing the chef out of bounds, because I remember that being discovered, and just kind of how wild it's just seamless now.
Yeah, I mean, the setup has been pretty good for a while, so
yeah. Anyway, for everyone watching, if you would like to check out more of Samoan, you can find the link in Twitch chats. As well, for a couple of things, Juneteenth submissions are currently open until May 16th. You can type Juneteenth in chat for more information, as well if you missed on any of our shows and events, and at all, any of the GDQ Hotfix shows or mainline events, you can find VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. We'll be right back very quick with Silent Hill 3. All right, everyone, welcome back from the break. Hope you enjoyed that exciting run of Little Nightmares. It is quite fun to see a horror game that does break the mold a little bit. Like I said, you don't see quite a lot about that. As we continue our night through the adventures of Motherhood, we're probably going to hit one of the most prolific horror games of all time, and I guess kind of a dark spin on the theme that we're doing today. Admittedly, I'll say right now, trying to find games about motherhood that were positive was not very easy. In fact, I don't think a single one of these games is positive about it. That being said, we're going to be diving into Silent Hill 3, No Monster Out of Bounds with Death Tropes. Take it away.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for the introduction. Real quick, I want to explain, there's a lot of different categories for Silent Hill 3. The No Monster Out of Bounds category includes basically all the major skips within the game, except for the ones where it requires a monster to throw you out of bounds, hence No Monster Out of Bounds. It was a new category added. It's the newest category in the game, essentially. And it's really, really cool. It's really, really neat. You'll see all the cool skips that are in new game. But yeah, as far as that goes, start the timer as soon as I hit easy on the riddle level in 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. So in new game, in most of the new game categories, you have to run in and have this enemy called a closer hurt you and basically kill you, and then you can start your run. But in this category, we just run over here, because we're on normal, and you can just fall off, and that's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to reset at Romper for, an hour of your time, and you can just go on through. Now you're in the you're in the Hilltop Mall as Heather. First time you play this game, you don't really understand who Heather is, but then as you play the game, you start to realize that Heather has a strong relation to a character from Silent Hill 1, Harry Mason. Yeah, for now, she's just trying to get away from some creepy old guy named Douglas who's just trying to ask about her and her childhood. And she's like, nah, you just need to leave me alone. I was kind of going through the mall. Somehow we have a gun now, it's fine. Through here. Yeah, most of the skips don't happen until you get to the sewers, which is the third or fourth area in the run. The third, I believe. Yeah, right now we're just going through, grabbing various items, various keys we need to progress. Some tongs, we leave there. There's also a really interesting internal point system in this game that has to do with something called a birthday present that we can receive in the hospital. Essentially, the game knows how much ammo you've picked up versus how many health items you've picked up. And our goal is to have the health item point system be higher than the ammo point system. That will enable us to receive a bonus of ammo that we need to complete the run. That's why we're not gonna grab a lot of stuff, but it's basically just enough to make sure that we can complete the run, because if you don't get that ammo drop, your run is probably dead. First kind of puzzle on the run right here. 2607 is what that says, so that's gonna be our code over here. And all right, pushing on through, we meet the antagonist of the game, Claudia. We don't have time to talk to her though, because we are on a speed run. Gonna get in the elevator, and we're gonna waste 4 bullets real quick. And we're actually setting up for the first boss fight of the game by doing that, because you essentially trigger a reload, which then messes with the first boss's movement, and then you can quickly kill it afterwards, or else the fight is much longer. Now we are in the much more ugly side, I would say, of the mall in Hilltop. On our way now to get a very, very needed flashlight. Yeah, so most of the enemies in the run don't really pose a threat. Once we get to the enemy called the Slurper, which a lot of you are probably familiar with, that enemy can ruin your day. But right now we don't have to worry about that. Right now we're just trying to make it through without getting hit by things. It's also another nice thing about running the game on normal, as opposed to easy, which are a lot of other new game categories in this game. Ran it on the easy difficulty. There's no auto aim. If you ever played this game on easy and you try to get through a door, you're sometimes going to auto lock onto an enemy. You don't have to worry about that on this run, which is really, really nice. But the main reason we run it on normal is because it allows Heather to get out of bounds, as you'll see in some of the skips in this. Right now, we're about to go visit our favorite dog in Silent Hill 3. The only one that can't hurt you. We're gonna grab a key, and we're out of here. Yeah, there are 3 major skips that we're gonna visit today. First one is in the sewers. Grab our walnut. You guys didn't even see it. Alrighty. Use that cookie we got from the dog. One thing that's really nice about this game and this run itself is the movement. If you've ever played a Silent Hill game, some of the movement can be kind of clunky, especially Silent Hill 1, which the first one, you know, they're still trying things out and getting to know their franchise and stuff, but the movement in Silent Hill 3 is basically perfect for a turn-based game as far as speedrunning purposes. If you've played Silent Hill 2, or you've seen a lot of runs of Silent Hill 2, that is all done, most of the run is done in directional. Whereas this is 3D or tank. Got our moonstone, and we are basically done with them all. And we're gonna get to our first boss here in just a minute. We're gonna see our first instance of quick saving. So I basically quick save in front of that enemy because I'm trying to move his positioning, which we're allowed to do in this run. Moved him, he was in the way of the door, now he is not. What's actually kind of cool is another enemy up here on the escalator, or by the escalator. His position is also moved because we did that little quick save and reload. You're gonna see me do that a few times as well. So usually he'd be blocking the escalator, but now he's gonna be a few feet away from it, so we can just nicely walk by him. Use that moonstone on the door. We're about to fight our first boss, Split Worm, which has an uncanny resemblance to a boss in Silent Hill 1 called Split Head. Unfortunately, this boss is not as easy as that one. It's still pretty easy, as long as you get your timing right. You kind of got to delay yourself from shooting, but it's a pretty quick fight. Where is he gonna be? There he is. 2, 3, and you wait. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. We're gonna reload. Head slam. Now we're just gonna hold shoot. And fight is over. Very good fight. Very good fight. Pretty fast. That's RNG as well. The bosses have RNG health in this game. So it's always kind of, you're not ever going to really know for sure how many bullets it's going to take, but that was pretty good. On the easy category, it's a little different. On easy, you can shoot it 6, 7, or 8 times, and that's it. But on normal, it's a little bit different. All right, we are done with them all. Now we are going to go into the subway to further try and get away from Douglas, essentially. Also, fun fact, if you've ever seen the movie Jacob's Ladder, Bergen Street is actually a street in this game that they use, or that they use from the movie. Little fun fact for you. I think the biggest movie influences for Silent Hill were Jacob's Ladder, Exorcist 3, and then the show Twin Peaks. I feel like if it wasn't for those 3 things, Silent Hill would not be what it is, if at all, honestly. Yeah, going down here, we're going to avoid these dogs with our light off. It is very important to utilize your light being off for some rooms, much like other Silent Hill games. They can still meme you, but it's less likely that dogs are going to cause you any problems if you keep your light off. I'm going to grab that nutcracker to break a chain upstairs. I had somebody ask in stream the other day if I still get scared when I run these games, and I said only when a dog comes out of nowhere and just jump scares Heather. It has happened sometimes. That was a very good trigger. Now we're on our way to grab the second weapon we're going to use for this run, which is the shotgun, as well as some ammo next to it. Grab that. Then we're off. We are almost done with the subway. A little bit of RNG coming up, so you're going to jump off some tracks, try to open a door that is never going to open, then run away from that track and jump up as quickly as possible. There are 3 dogs that are going to appear. Usually you can get by them if you do your movement correctly and fast, but sometimes you can get floored, and then you kind of have to quickly get up and hope to not get run over by a train. So we're going to make sure that does not happen right now. Avoid that dog. Yep, a little bit of RNG there. It's fine. At least you didn't get knocked down. Usually you can get by, but again, RNG in this game is very cruel. But we didn't get floored, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. Yeah, speaking of Exorcist 3, that movie 100% influenced the creation of Lisa from Silent Hill 1. And if you don't believe me, go watch it and you're going to say, that's Lisa. That's just Lisa in the movie right there. All right, now we're approaching the subway car. We're in the subway car. A little bit of enemy manipulation here as well, so we're going to quick save. And the reason I'm quitting is because it's actually faster than just quick loading after you do a quick save. So I quickly just start up again right where we're at. Now that's some ammo that's going to come up soon. If you miss this ammo, your run is basically over. Because you have to have that point system, that internal point system going. Oh, right there. Almost didn't grab the first aid kit. I don't think you honestly need that first aid kit, but you definitely need those shotgun shells that are sitting there. Just move by the insane cancer. He's not going to bother you. And we are done with the subway area. Now comes the sewers, where our first major skip is. Which is probably my favorite skip in the whole game, if I'm being honest with you. And once we get to the skip, I'll explain all the stuff that it actually skips. Yeah, a lot of the sewers is just running down really long hallways, avoiding certain enemies and grabbing a few different items. Probably the most chill part of the run, in my opinion. Until you get to the skip. These enemies can block you sometimes, but yep, looks like we got blocked a little bit. That's totally fine. Another thing about this run is your health management is very important. So you want to, obviously with like a lot of speedrunning in general, or most speedrunning, you don't want to take hits in general because you're going to lose time. Besides that, health is a major factor in this run. If you take too many hits, then you have to use health. If you have to use health, then that's going to actually that's going to change your point system. And then you may not get the ammo drop that you need. So you still want to be mindful of the damage that you do take. The loudest enemy in the franchise. It is funny too. There are some parts of Silent Hill that I always think, well, for a game that has the word silent in it, it has some of the loudest things I've ever heard in my entire life. Those enemies being one of them. If you haven't heard of Pendulum, just YouTube Pendulum from Silent Hill 3, and it's like nails on a chalkboard. All right, now we're gonna fill up this wine bottle over here. Some kerosene so we can use a machine to go further into the sewers. Just avoid the numb bodies. They're not too big of a deal. Usually the big ones are the ones you gotta worry about. All right, the machine room, definitely a slightly tricky part. All right, here comes our first major skip. That's gonna enable us to skip picking up the hairdryer and using the hairdryer on the in the outlet that actually destroys that sewer monster that if you don't destroy or kill, it's gonna kill you, and that's not good. We don't want that. So we're just gonna skip it all because we don't want to do it. All right, did we get it first try? We did. Very nice. Very good skip. You essentially walk off that edge as you're quick saving, like right as you're falling off, and it essentially pushes Heather out of bounds, and then we can just skip the rest of the sewers. We're done. Sewers is over. On our way to the Hilltop Center. Or the Hilltop Construction site, as I've heard it's called. Yeah, typically in Silent Hill, there's usually 2 parts to every area, the normal side and then the otherworld side. Most of what you're going to see at the Hilltop Center is going to be the, more natural, earthly looking part of it. We're only going to be in the otherworld part of it for about, about 2 minutes, 3 minutes if things go like they should. All right. Grab this health, not because we need it. Well, actually, I take that back. We do actually need most of this health. We don't use most of it or any of it until you're about at the end of the game. So again, we're setting up for that point system to get that ammo drop, but also we're using all of those health drink pickups to save for the final boss fight. So you're essentially planning out the end of the game from the beginning, which is why I like this category. There's a lot of like cool little item management, which makes it different than a lot of the other runs. Because it's very important to have what you need. Whereas on New Game Easy, like a glitchless or no QSQL, you need health, but it's not as much of a factor. Just gonna jump through that window. There's a little bit of dog RNG in this room. In this game, dogs are not free, as opposed to Silent Hill 1, where they absolutely are. All right, usually they can grab you from this corner. Very good RNG. There are so many times where I've gone around that corner and the dog is just jumping into Heather. Again, not crazy, not a lot of damage, but just gotta be a little bit mindful of it. Into the automotive, I guess, storage area to grab this crank. Now we are about to get to the Hilltop Otherworld. Use that, and then use the rope. We're going down. All right, here we go. Look at the bathtub, and then we are off. Second major skip coming. See if this slurper blocks us. Oh, a little bit. It's all right, though. Usually he doesn't knock you over, but it is a little bit scary when he blocks you like that. I might get it, but we'll find out right now. It might have been a frame too early. Yep, and that's okay. That looked good. Yeah, they're very frame-perfect skips, which makes them a little bit annoying. It's still very fun to do. Yeah, once you get it, it just feels really cool. So yeah, second try, not too bad. Not mad about that. We're skipping a lot of those rooms you have to go through. We're skipping burning that painting. We're skipping a lot of that stuff and just grabbing that coin right away. Got the key. Let's get out of here. We're on our way now to our second boss fight. All right, how our Slurper's going to be in this room. Ooh. Very good. That is very, very good RNG. Very impressed with that. Usually one of them is going to be flying into Heather the second that she gets into that hallway. That was very, very good. Now just some casual running. Back home. You can finally get back home. To go visit her father, which your first time playing, you find out, spoilers, is Harry Mason from Silent Hill 1. This fight has some RNG in it. The missionary kind of decides to attack or not to attack at certain times, as you'll see. Hopefully he doesn't attack. It'll make the fight a little bit smoother. But even if he does, that's totally fine. We can just avoid it and then quickly get rid of him and then move on. All right, here we go. Hello, Dad. Goodbye, Dad. Let's start the fight. Equip those. Shotgun. Pretty decent. Didn't really want to take a hit, but it's not that big of a deal. Still a very fast fight. Sometimes he just won't stay down after that second shot. Then you have to repeat the cycle and potentially take more damage. That was pretty good. Now, halfway through the run, we're now going to Silent Hill. Crazy how that works. Whereas in most games, you're in Silent Hill from the get-go. This one puts you in it 20 minutes later. Now in Silent Hill 2, if you've ever seen a speedrun of that, you probably notice a lot of quick saving over and over and over again, which is keeping James' stamina up. This game works in a similar way, except when you quick save, you actually have to reload it for that to take effect, to refill the stamina. So we're just going to quick save, get out, jump back in. Now we have stamina again for a little bit. But then once she starts to slow down, we're going to have to do it again. On New Game Easy, she has a lot more stamina, but on normal, she gets tired very quickly, so we got to do it a little bit more often. Thankfully, there's a lot of landmarks and key scenes we use to like know that, okay, we need to quick save here so we can get our stamina like that. Like after this corner, it's a quick save. Just because we know when she's going to slow down. On our way now to the hospital in Silent Hill, where our third boss fight awaits. Which in my opinion has the most RNG in the run. Last little quick save. There's also a lot of interesting tech in the hospital for one of the puzzles. It's really, really cool. So there's a puzzle with a alarm clock going off, and the code for that alarm clock is actually the code for the briefcase sitting on the bed. Well, we used to run up to the clock, see what time it was, then go up to the briefcase and unlock it. Now what we do is, well, actually I won't spoil that, I'll let you guys see it for yourself. Oh, didn't want to forget that. This code's always the same, 4639. Right here, we're gonna go in, zoom in on the clock, and just pause it. So the code that's on, or the time that's on that clock is actually the code for the briefcase. So when we discovered that tech, it was actually really, really cool. So as you can see there, the time on that, if I can read correctly, sometimes I can't. The time on there says, I'm going to say it's 4:28, 4:27, something like that, right? Okay, cool. Nice. We got the camera. Let's go. We have very, very cool tech. Back to floor 1. Now we're going to grab a key so we can get into the stairwell. Hopefully these nurses don't give us any problems. Sometimes they can swipe you and cause you to take a fall, but thankfully they were very kind. Use that, equip our gun, and we're off. Ooh! Very sudden and unexpected, but that is totally fine. Now down to grab our third and final weapon of the run, and a code. So what's our code going to be today? This is always RNG, it's always different. 8196. All right, 8196. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. All right, we got it. Sorry, I would have been talking, but I did not want to forget that code, just in case. So here, we're going to go into this door, answer the phone, because, you know, I guess Heather just answers random phone calls. Now we're going to the second part of the hospital. And she was actually talking to the boss of this area, funny enough. Back down here. Second floor. Past these nurses that hopefully won't damage us. That nurse can actually shoot you and cause a lot of damage and floor Heather, which is wildly hilarious, but not good for your run, obviously. But it is really funny when it happens. It's rare, but it does happen. You're going to see me quick saving here on these gates because it's actually faster to quick save as they're opening. Save a little bit of time. That's another cool thing about this run is there's a lot of little things that you can save time with. A lot of little onesies and twosies of time saved here and there. Couple more corridors like this. Then turn. That is our last gate that we need to quick save on. We're almost ready for what I call the most RNG infested part of the run because there's 45 slurpers in the hospital. All right, here we go. We're on our way into the Otherworld Hospital proper. Here we see Voltaire, which is essentially this game's version of Pyramid Head. That's like what everybody says. He's turning the wheels of fate, so to speak. Always sure that's supposed to resemble Lisa, but I don't buy it because it looks nothing like Lisa. All right. Probably the scariest part of the game. All right, here's our first set of Slurper RNG. Yeah, I took the wide turn there because I saw him coming and did not want to risk that. Grab this key. Back to floor 2. You go through a lot of the same corridors, they just look completely different. Alright, now what separates this run from others is after you get these items, you actually go into this room and answer this phone call. This actually turns on that whole birthday present thing I mentioned at the beginning of the run. And he basically tells you you can have whichever thing you don't like. So, we don't like ammo because we've been getting more health. At least it should. It should give us health. Or ammo. It should give us ammo. Alright. Oh, man. Did not expect that guy to actually hit me. That is okay. Refill this gun because it is very important that you actually do that. Alright, let's go. I'm going to move their positioning just a little bit. Alright, on our way to the boss of this area, Leonard. Which, if you ran this game before, I know people in here that have. We all despise him. Now here's where the birthday present is. Did we get our ammo? We did. Perfect. Get all that. That's essentially going to carry us for the rest of the game. Without that, we might not be able to make it through. Move their positioning real quickly. Uh-oh. They should not be there. It's fine. We're good. It's a party. Alright. Leonard boss fight. Thankfully, the new rules of this game let us reload real quick if he swims for us. So hopefully he doesn't, but we are allowed to reset his fight. Cool. Good, very good fight. That is it. We are done with the hospital. They essentially knock him down with the shotgun. He may swim. If that happens, then that's a reset of the fight. But after that, if he stays there in the water and doesn't swim around and he doesn't remember his floaties, shoot him a few times, pull out that submachine gun and blast away, and you're good to go. We're making our way back to the motel that we started at when we got to Silent Hill. And then we'll be at our 2 final areas of the game. A little bit of quick saving action here. Again, I wish I could just sit and spam it, but unfortunately we can't do that. Oops. It's also a neat little thing if you don't know a lot about Silent Hill 2 and 3 is they actually use more or less the same hospital model. So a lot of the rooms and stuff are very similar as in Silent Hill 2. However, there's no bowling in this one, so that's unfortunate. One more little quick save going to the motel right here. Another trick you can do when you're running through these streets on normal, it's a little bit different on easy, but on normal, if you just count 50 steps, that's when you know you need to quick save and then reload. Because after 50 steps, she will start to slow down a little tiny bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. You're right there. She slowed down a little bit. That's when you got to do it. And then we'll come to our final, like, big skip of the run. There's a little bit of quick saving things you do towards the end, but the park is where we have probably the biggest and most like level skipping thing we do. But it's also probably my least favorite because it is a little bit annoying with the frame that you have to initiate the quick save. What it skips is it skips essentially all of Borley Haunted Mansion, which is everybody's favorite part of the run, so sorry. A little bit of RNG here with the key drop from inside the gift shop. All right, got the key. We're gonna grab this ampule because it is actually integral for the strats we use on this run. Oop, thank you. I like to keep my light off here because it's less likely the dogs are gonna jump into you. We're gonna do a little quick save up here because Heather is actually losing stamina. And when you leave the room or use the key for the roller coaster, it's actually much slower if you don't quick save. As you'll see, I'll get out of there pretty quick. Well, I should. I should get out of there very quickly. Yeah. So if I didn't quick save there, her movement would have been very, very slow and sluggish. So that quick save actually saves us a little bit of time. All right, here we go. We're gonna skip these cutscenes and then see how many attempts this one takes. This one is kind of annoying, but it's still good. Yeah, didn't get it. Might have gotten it there. It's very frame perfect, and it's hard to judge. Okay. Second attempt, not bad at all. That's pretty good. We've had one first attempt and 2 second attempts. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so essentially we're just going to run through the void using a little bit of landmarks here and there to make sure we're going in the right direction. Which looks like we're doing just fine. Like that, exactly. Gonna quick save there real quick. Then turn and run until the camera changes. We're gonna keep running, but we're basically using the camera changing as a way to see when we're supposed to heal. And hopefully our line is good. Once I see Heather come into view, I'll use that because it actually fills her stamina up as well as healing her. Very good line, though. We ran right to where we needed to go. Happy with that. All right, now we're on to our 4th boss fight. We basically skipped most of the amusement park, which is pretty cool. First, we have to deal with some horses, though, which this is definitely a RNG part of the run. We use our ampule, we equip our ammo because we're definitely going to need to. Reload the shotgun, equip the shotgun, and then let's go. All right, we're gonna go into our save menu. What that's gonna do is it's gonna enable us to skip the waiting time needed for the horses to start moving. This is actually a strat that this bypasses all of that. It's just going to the save menu, getting out of it. Let's start the fight, so to speak. Now I'm holding text on some of these horses because it actually freezes the IGT. Got a little bit of a frame drop situation there, but that's okay. Like the game that had a frame drop, which is gonna hurt our fast horses, but it's okay. It's gonna reload. That's all right. Still not bad. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go to our save menu. Not gonna save or anything, but we're just gonna wait here for a second, and this bypasses the waiting time for the next cutscene to start, which will also start our next boss fight. Here's Alessa. All right. Ooh, that was weird. It's all right. Still a good fight. Still decent. We did have a little bit of RNG mishaps with the third Alessa. That's okay. Sometimes that just happens, especially on normal Alessa. Normal difficulty Alessa is very different than easy Alessa. Still a decent fight though. Going to our final area of the run. The church. Which doesn't have any like major skips, it does have some manipulation to do to save a little bit of time. Grab that card. We're basically collecting 5 different cards to use on a door to get to the final boss. All right, first skip here is we're going to skip these footsteps that we have to wait to go up to the painting. You just quick save there, continue, and we have to skip that wait time. Nice, good RNG on him. Usually he'll like be in your way and like hit you and knock you over, but that was very good. So much like Silent Hill 1, we have to collect 5 different items to open up the final door. Whereas this one, they're cards, and Silent Hill 1, they are different religious artifacts. But it's essentially the same idea. Let's grab our second one. Grab that ammo. We're off. A little bit of RNG here because there's an enemy. Somehow he did not hit us. I'm very impressed by that. That was very good. Usually if he's right there, that guy's going to hit you. Grab this key and leave. Alrighty, one more time of quick saving in this area. Same thing as before, full footsteps thing, quick save there, quit out, keep going, and then you can just start the cutscene. That enables you to get into this little hallway. Alright, cool. Gonna go grab our last card now. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Gonna run around this insane cancer because he's in the way. That room becomes just a disaster. There's so many enemies in that room at this point. All right, gonna run into this classroom so we can bypass all that annoying stuff. All right. Here we go. Last card. Very good pickup. I always kind of hold my breath for that pickup because it is very movement intensive. We got it, and we are on our way to the final boss fight. Ooh, that wasn't good. All right. Alright, last hallway you gotta worry about as far as taking damage, which looks like RNG is in our favor. Because he was looking a totally different direction. But he still attacked nothing, so it's fine. Gotta do a little menuing real quick. Little maintenance. I always use that to be safe. Oh, wait, actually, yeah, no, we're good. Okay, cool. Put our cards in a certain order that I sometimes forget, and it's embarrassing. But I think we got it correctly. We did. All right, let's go. Couple of quick cutscenes. We're going to skip a very, very gross one, unfortunately for you guys. And here we go. Final boss fight. Once the boss dies and a cutscene starts, that's going to be time. And I will gladly say it as well. Should be coming up here pretty quick. Time. And that's it. That's Silent Hill 3.
Good stuff.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, pretty proud of how that run went too. Not a lot of memes or anything like that. Alessa was a little off. Besides that, I'm pretty happy with how that went.
And of course, we're gonna have to see, I guess, how the IGT was and all that.
Yes, we're gonna see that right now. Skip the 47 cutscenes after the run's over.
Yep. For anyone newer to Silent Hill games, you always have a screen at the end for the original 4, and they kind of show you what time you got, and this is the official time. It's actually a pretty well-made timer, as weird as that sounds.
33:05, not too bad, not too shabby.
All right, good stuff. GG.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for that run, Death Tropes. Just a few things here. One, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Oh, so many. And I see a lot of people in chat right now. Umbrella Jill, Monster Waifu, Morning Craft. There's so many people. There's a lot. Crispy Toast Ghost, frickin' Tay. There's a lot of people here that Mars, of course, Mars Cakes, fantastic streamer as well. And to the entire SH community, every runner that's still going strong. That goes for any Silent Hill. Silent Hill is a very important game to me, especially with speedrunning. So it's always good to see people still grinding for stuff like you as well, like Dices. You've been grinding SH2 hard mode, which has been awesome. It makes me happy to just see people still pushing for better times in these games. It does mean a lot.
Absolutely. Two, and the other question here, if anyone want to find you on Twitch or anywhere else, where can they find you?
Twitch.tv/DeathTropes. That's the same with Twitter, YouTube. It's all the same name. But yeah, I stream Silent Hill all the time. A lot of different speedruns, a lot of indie horror games. But you'll find horror and Silent Hill if you ever want that, that's what I'm doing for sure.
Sounds good. As well, I do want to say a couple things in addition to that. For one, if you have not checked them out yet, you can find the link to Death Tropes here in the Twitch chat. You can see it right there. And two, if you do not know, Death Tropes, I believe, has a run at the upcoming SGDQ events, and we'll be doing Silent Hill 1.
That is true. Thank you very much for that. Yep. Very excited for that.
It's going to be quite exciting seeing the first official debut of the Out of Bounds on the main stage and really ever. It's never been shown, so...
It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So I want to give you big props for that since,
Thank you, dude.
You're doing this run. May as well bring it up since it's GDQ tangent, I suppose.
I appreciate that. Yeah. It'll be really cool. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I am excited for it.
Absolutely. Thank you once again for doing this run of Silent Hill 3. And as well, before we get into our final game of the night, I do want to mention a couple things. One, any subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming, bits, and all of that help support GDQ in the interim between events. So consider subscribing to the channel if you have not. As well, Flame Fatale submissions are now open until May 12th. We have a few days for that. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information. That being said, we'll be right back with Bloodbourne. All right, everyone, welcome back from the break. Hopefully you've been enjoying this episode of Speedruns from the Crypt so far. We do have one more game for you tonight as we've been exploring the wonderful world of Motherhood. To further go along with this, I didn't actually know this game was kind of about that. I ended up playing through all of it recently, and lo and behold, it's actually a pretty major theme. So what better way of showing for, leading up to Mother's Day. Anyway, it's going to be a pretty warped view of it, as all the games have been. But I think this one is especially going to further dive into that. Anyway, here is Bloodbourne All Bosses with Blanks. Take it away.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. We're going to be running Bloodbourne for you guys today. This is going to be all bosses, so all main game plus DLC bosses. No chalice bosses today, but it's going to be all bosses restricted, meaning we're going to be banning the usage of grabs, like enemy grab animations, putting us through collision, and a new glitch, the cannon glitch that was found not too long ago. That kind of gives you like a rapid fire cannon. But today we're going to be doing the standard all bosses route. That's the more popular one. I am Blanks. I am holding 4th place right now in the all bosses category, and I'm joined by a Hattie, who's also a runner. So you can introduce yourself, Hattie.
What's up? I've been running Bloodbourne for a very long time, and I'm happy to be here to help Blanks out with some commentary. Excited to watch.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm ready. I'm sure you guys are all ready too. I will give you guys a countdown. We'll start from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So starting out here, we are going to wake up in this clinic. We're going to be our character. They are a foreign hunter from a foreign land. We don't really know much about them, but we have one mission. That mission is to seek pale blood and transcend the hunts. I am waking up from my little nap. We're going to find out very, very soon that this world is not everything that it seems. So yeah, Bloodbourne All Bosses is a really fun run. It's actually one of the first runs that I've ever attempted at. It's my second ever. It was Demon Souls Remake and then Bloodbourne. This run features a lot of cool skips, a lot of cool tech like that one I just did. What I'm doing there is I'm toggling my equipment on and off, and what that does, it sometimes makes enemies not follow me. Ideally, that wolf would not chase me there, as you guys saw. So yeah, as we're just running through the streets of Central Yharnam, I guess you want to give us a little bit of background to Hattie, kind of what led up to the development of this run.
Yeah, so when this run started out, especially not quite the route that Blanks is running, but it's one of the newer ones. But when this run started out, it was really bare bones and really raw, like just boss rush mode. There weren't that many skips, there weren't that many glitches, and I found that cool. But what's even cooler is adding some glitches that aren't quite sequence breaks. So you can still go through the game in sort of the intended order, but with a much more interesting speed run. And I think that's kind of the state that this particular run is in right now. We kind of deviated from the canon and the wolf clip stuff that Blanks was talking about, and made like an ideal world where none of those things were found. This is what this run is. So it's pretty cool.
It's a fun run. I enjoy it. Like Ahadi said, a lot of the skips are not like super sequence breaky. A lot of them are basically based around the fact that a lot of levels in Bloodbourne are vertically designed, so we can take full advantage of that by going out of bounds and falling, and making advantage of how little fall damage you take in this game. And speaking of it, we actually have a skip coming up right now called Sewer Skip. We're going to be skipping the Yarnum sewers coming up here. I will focus while I try to land this skip because it is a little bit finicky. But kind of the idea is to jump onto this fence to my right. I'll try my best to get it. It looks good, I think. Yeah. So the idea there is to use like that box to get up onto a little lip. And you want to jump from the lip onto that fence that I just rolled over. The reason why that works the way that it does, hopefully we get it on this load-in. The way it's supposed to work is that your last saved position will be on top of the fence instead of being on the lip. But we got it. Now we have to very carefully run along the fence here. Thankfully, we didn't die to fall damage, actually. That was kind of close. But coming up on the first boss fight of the run is going to be Father Gascoigne. He is a pretty tricky fight, I would say, for newcomers to learn. Definitely one of those fights that you gotta really just put into time, learn all of his attacks. We're gonna be making use of the backstab mechanic in this game. The idea behind this fight is we want to get him into a down state with a backstab and then throwing a Molotov at his back. And what that'll do, let me first see if I can get the first backstab off here. And what that'll do is it'll do more damage to him. As you can see, that was a big chunk of damage on his back. We want to make full use of his backstabs. I am getting a little bit of a rowdy Gascoigne here. Loves his gun.
Seems to me it's enough to make a man sick.
This phase should be phase 3 because it's harder than all the other ones.
Yeah, so he extends his axe. Oh, it looks like I got a little bit of a weird bug there with the dialogue. That's okay. Okay, he's not behaving at all. Okay, that was a pretty poor showing of what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to kind of get him in like a loop where you can't really move and you're just chain backstabbing him. I'm sad I couldn't really show you guys like, how scripted that fight can become if you just get a handful of backstabs, but you guys got the idea. We're just gonna be backstabbing him and putting some Molotovs in his back. But yeah, that's the first and arguably one of the hardest bosses down. It's a blessing and a curse to have him right at the start of the run. So yeah,
perfect demonstration of why like some strats are just too hard to do consistently. Like,
yeah,
and why I recommend a lot of new runners to do parries, but it doesn't really stick. I think most people do the backstabs, but it's quite difficult, as you can see.
Yeah. So there I picked up the Blood Gem Workshop tool. What that does, it's going to allow us to take advantage of the Blood Gem mechanic of this game. There are these powerful gems that can increase your attack power by certain percentages, so it's very important to pick that up. We're also picking up the main armor set for the run, the Hunter set. It gives us some valuable defenses, but also, more valuably, it gives us Beasthood, which is basically our attunement with, being a beast. We're going to be picking up an item later that is called the Beast Blood Pellet. That'll essentially be our lifeblood for the run. The consumable makes our physical attack go up while also draining our physical defense. It's kind of like a double-edged sword in that regard. We're also heading over to our boy Alfred. We want to cooperate with our boy Alfred because he will give us 3 fire papers, which is actually very useful for the bosses coming up. And then we're also going to hold our quit out menu. And as you can see, we have to use the quit out there. We use that mechanic so we can avoid the dog there. Those dogs can be quite mean. They block you in the doorway sometimes, like you guys just saw. So yeah, we'll just be putting out and loading the back in.
60% of the time, every time.
Yeah, they definitely pick and choose their days. I've definitely had my run-ins with them. So yeah, I'm just gonna be heading down to the second major area of the game. We're heading down to Old Yarnum. This is the other way. There's two ways of getting to the main central area of the game. We need to get to a cathedral ward, and there's two ways of doing so. You can either kill the boss in Old Yarnum, or you can kill the cleric beast, which is the boss fight that most of you guys probably fought when you played this game for the first time. When he dies, you can buy a key item that allow you to get to the cathedral ward. But we're going to be taking out the boss in this area because it is faster and more optimal to do so. We're going to be coming up on a skip here in Old Yarnum. It's called, you guessed it, Old Yarnum Skip.
No way.
Going to be, yeah. Yes way. We're gonna be taking advantage of, like I said, the vertical landscape of the levels. Gonna be rolling off this rooftop, jumping off this fence. Hopefully we got it. Yeah, nice. Okay, I was kind of worried about that one going into this run, but not a big deal. You just want to clip into this roof after you land your jump. Uh-oh. Do not say hi to the wolf. He's not very friendly. So yeah, we're grabbing the beast blood pellets and gonna be outmaneuvering these wolves as we make our way through Old Yarnum. This one actually saves a lot of time. We end up pretty much at the end of the level. Normally you'd have to go down like an area where there's a hunter that's shooting a Gatling gun down at you. So we're just skipping all of that and all of like there's like a church area, but we're gonna be skipping all of that. We're gonna be making our way towards the second boss of the run, the Blood-Starved Beast, which honestly on my first playthrough gave me like a lot of trouble. I was actually very surprised how easy it goes down in the speedrun, as you guys will see. We picked up this item called the Pungent Blood Cocktail. It's like a bait, it's like a lure for beast type enemies. They're gonna be eating our pellet for more damage, and then we're gonna be throwing a cocktail in the corner. And the idea is to just chain backstabs on this boss as well, just like with Father Gascoigne. As you can see, he's ignoring me completely and going for the Pungent Blood Cocktail. Gotta be careful though, because he can swing like that.
Yeah, that's scary.
Okay, we need to get it back under control. I'll throw another cocktail probably. He's gonna move around a bit.
Nice.
So yeah, kind of went off the rails there. You gotta either risk it and just go for the backstab, or you can step back like I did and just kind of play it a little bit slowly. That one is a pretty time-consuming death, so we're going to be just playing it safe there. And yeah, we're heading up the church now. We're heading up the old church workshop. This is the alternate way of getting to the cathedral ward, or at least the second part of it.
That was kind of one of the bigger, like, sort of minor changes to the run that Blanks just did there, using the regular hunter's mark after Blood-Starved Beast. Like, realizing that echoes, like small amounts of echoes like that, aren't as important as we thought, because it gives you like a couple of levels, maybe 1 or 2 levels each time, but it's so much more advantageous to just skip picking up more bold marks. Then you can just like dump the echoes because you don't really need them.
Yeah,
doesn't save time in most fights.
The beast blood pellets carry your early game damage as well, so it doesn't really make a huge difference to level. So yeah, we're just in an area that looks quite familiar if you guys have not played the game. This is the real world manifestation of what the Hunter's Dream looks like. We're going to be grabbing a third of the umbilical cord, as well as a set of clothing. A set of clothing will sell for a high price, and the umbilical cord will be part of an optional side quest for the true final boss. So it is worth picking that up because it's one of the fastest ones to grab. Might as well right on our way to the third boss of the run. And as we mentioned, with like the way the routes changed and all, we don't level at all before this part in the run. You guys will see why in a minute. The third boss is completely scripted, even without leveling at all. Like we mentioned, the Beast Blood Pellet is literally going to be our lifeblood for the run. So it's... Okay, there we go. So it's not a huge deal level. There we're doing what's called Ladder Warp. And what that allows us to do is all this time that we're running through up these stairs, and all the time we're going to be using to fight the boss, the game will be thinking that we're on a ladder. So if I try to use like a beast blood pellet, for example, it won't let me. The game thinks I'm on a ladder, and it'll save that state. Also, it'll save my position on the ladder. So all this is kind of just like for free, because as soon as we quit out and reload the game, we'll just end up being at the ladder. So Amelia here is the third boss of the run, and we're going to be abusing the limb break mechanic of this game. As you can see, it's going to be absolutely scripted. It's going to go by pretty quickly.
This is kind of a derivative of a strategy from UTC 6 that was like discovered basically when the game came out, like, or when speedrunning started, I guess, for the game back in like 2016 era.
Yeah, so as you can see, we're literally just abusing the limb break mechanic to its fullest potential. She has 4 limbs that can all be broken, which all trigger staggers, and we're able to take care of her with a +0 weapon with no levels. And almost, okay, I'm waving at GDQ. Hey guys!
What's
so right there we're doing an unintentional motion gesture. The way that motion gestures work is Sony decided to lump in gyro physics with the controller in the final version of the game. So if you press X to like interact with an item, and let's say I'm holding the controller at an awkward angle like this, it'll make me do like a gesture like that. Isn't that pretty cool?
It's Miyazaki's vision right there.
Yeah, there's no way to disable it. It's just a little silly thing that happens from time to time. So yeah, we spawned back at the ladder because of the ladder orb, like we explained, and we are getting we received a gold pendant from killing the boss here. I think it's kind of cool that we end up utilizing it at this point in the run, because you really wouldn't have utilized it without what's called as early parl. We're going to be crushing this gold pendant for a blood gem, and that blood gem will give us plus, I think, 12 some arbitrary number % against beasts, which is actually pretty useful for the next boss coming up, because it is a beast type boss, and if we had not done that boss in order, we would not use the gem at all. So just a cool little routing thing that I believe it was Hex that came up with that one. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
So we got the password to the Forbidden Woods by killing Amelia. Otherwise, that door won't open for us. It's essential to do that. That's part of the glitchless run, but in the 90% run, you can actually skip right past Amelia. There's a skip that gets you past the door. But since it's all bosses, we're going to be taking her out. We're going to be taking this opportunity at the woods. Instead of advancing, we're going to be heading back to the dream. We haven't leveled up our weapon at all, and we haven't leveled up our stats, so this is a great time because we're going to get a huge power spike here that'll take us through the mid-game. We're going to be buying some Molotov cocktails for later. We're also going to be selling our doll clothing because it sells for a high price. It's about 30,000 echoes. And then we're going to be purchasing 16 bloodstone shards. That's using Insight, which is the alternate currency in this game. And then we're going to be using our upgrades to get our weapon to +4, putting our blood gems on our weapon, and then we're going to be taking out the doll because we need to level. However, if you talk to the doll and let her level you up like normal, what'll happen is when you come back to the dream, she will be at a different location. So in order to alleviate that, and also in order to just level up faster, if you just kill her and just you level up that way, it is much faster and much more efficient. Yeah. We're heading towards Yaragul. We're going to a later game area pretty early. We are going to be putting our Molotov cocktails that we just got from the messenger baths. The bad messengers, my bad. We're going to be dying to this enemy intentionally. If you die to this enemy, these enemies spawn all around the map once you advance the cycle to nighttime. If you die to an enemy like this, he'll take you to Yaragul, but you obviously won't be able to progress the story fragment that's right there. We're instead going to be going to this lower area where there's actually an optional boss. It's called Dark Beast Parl. and it is connected to Old Yarnum. Like there's a shortcut door that connects to the Bloodstarved Beast, and I believe, Ahadi, you used to run a route that would do Paro later in the run, and you would use the shortcut door to go to the Bloodstarved Beast.
That's a different thing. So in the canon run, you do BSB after Paro, like using the shortcut, but what you're thinking of is where you do Yahargul skip twice.
Yep.
And just kill Paro later. But they still did, in that route, they still did BSB at the start.
Yeah. But there's not really a need to do it later in the run, because as you can see right now, we're going to be abusing the limb break mechanic once again. Going to be just knocking it over and over and over again. The fight is probably over here. It's going to get one more charge attack off.
Also pretty significantly faster to kill Parl now, even though the fight is slightly more hits. Because running through Yahargul twice is quite slow.
Yeah, so
dying to that Bagman just basically takes you right to where the boss is.
Otherwise, you'd have to go from the highest point in Yahargul, and you'd have to drop down, do the skip, run through the area. Yeah, so it is much faster to do it that way. But yeah, the reason why we do it also is because you get a handful of blood echoes that we use to buy blood vials and bolt papers, because we got the Spark Hunter badge from killing Parl. Badges are just little key items that allow you to buy stuff from the messenger baths. But yeah, we are now in the Forbidden Woods. There is a skip here that we're not going to be doing today. It's called Hut Skip. There is a route that does Hut Skip, but you do lose out on a bunch of upgrade materials, so you would not be able to get a plus 10 weapon. It is faster. It is the world record route. However, it is way trickier. So today we're going to be doing the standard plus 10 route that does a different skip. We're going to be basically jumping over this hill. We're going to be running out of bounds, and we're going to be skipping over the Oil River, where these villagers will be throwing Molotov cocktails down at you while you try to scramble your way through. We're going to be skipping all that. We're going to be grabbing some upgrade materials, going to be grabbing some beast blood pellets from the shack, and making our way through the woods the normal way. So basically you'd end up around here. If you did Hut Skip, you would end up pretty much in about 10-15 seconds. You would skip from the top all the way to down here. So it does have its benefits, but you do lose out on a plus 10 weapon. So you end up losing some of the time back, but we ended up figuring out that it is actually faster to just deal with having a plus 9 weapon for the rest of the way of the run. Anyway, that's not really important because we're not doing that route today. We're doing the plus 10 route, so we're going to be making our way through the woods, grabbing more twin shards, which will allow us to upgrade to plus 6. Just need, I think, like 4 more. We should be good on those ones. And we're doing another skip. So, you want to give us a little bit of background on the skip coming up, Hadi?
Right. This skip has been around for years. Like, basically since even in patch 1.0, there's a way to do this skip. But in current patch, up until relatively recently, like within, I'd say, I don't know, maybe a year ago. I don't know if it was longer than that. A new way to do this skip was discovered that's, I would say, RTA viable or like repeatable in current patch, and that's what Blanks is doing right now. So this setup is to get out of bounds and enter the Shadows of Yarnum fight from out of bounds. And just the way boss fights work in Dark Souls games and Bloodbourne is that if you enter the fight from out of bounds after previously triggering it, they're just standing still. Their AI doesn't trigger unless you go through the fog wall that you're intended to go through to enter the fight. So you can essentially just kill the boss and they're not even moving.
Yeah, so a pretty massive skip, honestly, because this fight is one of the harder fights in the game to learn. There's people that still to this day, they still fight them because they really enjoy the fight. But you cannot deny its effectiveness and practicality in the run. It's used in pretty much every category, and it's especially useful in runs where you don't have an upgraded weapon. There's an 80% route that has a +0 weapon all the way through to like the 3rd or 4th boss, and this one is like one of the first bosses. So to get just a free kill like this on frozen bosses is just huge. You get so many echoes, access to Bergenworth, which is the the main like story point of the game. It triggers like the all the late game quest lines and all that stuff. So if you can basically like, if you can get here early in the game, which is the point of the let me grab this real quick. Let me just get rid of this bug here. Okay. Yeah, so if you can get here early in the game, which is the idea of any percent runs that are unrestricted, meaning that they can use the clip where you use the wolf to clip through the gate at the start of the run. You essentially get here with a +0 weapon. You take care of shadows, and you fight the next boss, which is Rom, with a +0 as well. So you're giving up like a powerful weapon and upgrade materials for just raw speed. You get here in like 8 or 9 minutes, so obviously it's worth it for any percent runs. But we're gonna be doing a skip here to get into the arena. If you guys are familiar with this area, this is Birkenworth, and we're gonna have to run up some stairs normally, nice. And grab a key and open a door. But as you guys can see, you can take advantage of the centipede, and you're just gonna jump on its tail and go over the railing. So pretty cool skip there. We're gonna be going into the ROM fight right after. There's going to be some NPC spiders or ad spiders, whatever you want to call them, that spawn. We want to get rid of them as quickly as possible, ideally within the time frame of our Beast Blood pellet. That's kind of the challenge with this fight. There's also what's called YOLO ROM, where, as the name implies, you're essentially just not killing any of the spiders, hoping that you live. It's, to be fair, the success rate has definitely gotten better over the years, but we're going to be not doing that strat today. We're going to be doing a little consistent combo here. You want to do less than 1,000 damage. Getting a couple of back steps here. Get the stagger. Okay, nice. Ooh, more back. This might be a one phase, actually.
Free fight.
Yep. So I don't get to show off what happens if you don't get a free fight. But the idea is, I think I'm going the right way. I did. I actually got the instant warp. Nice. Okay.
That's
so
speed.
That is very speed guy. Yeah. So how can I explain it? So basically the way that ROM works is that when you do enough damage to her, which is like over 1,050, I believe is the damage threshold, she'll try to teleport away. And if she does teleport away, she'll go to her second location. But if you do enough damage before her third phase, she'll go to her third location. And you want to use like the positioning of the second spawn of spiders to locate where her third spawn will be. And that's present even with YOLO ROM, because with YOLO ROM, you don't ever really one phase her unless you get really lucky. So if you want resources on how to learn, like, bosses like that are very finicky to understand, there are resources on the Soul Speedrunning Wiki, which will leave you a link to the Discord if you are interested in learning these runs. I would highly suggest joining up. A ton of people there that are willing to help you out, including Patty and I.
Hi. We help.
So yeah, we are in Yahar'gul, or now we're in the top layer of Yahar'gul. We're grabbing a key here. This is the Upper Cathedral Ward key. And once we grab that, we're pretty much done with this part of Yahar'gul. We're going to be doing a skip now called Yahar'gul Skip, where we're going to be clipping through a fence that has no collision by doing a charge attack at the right time. Hopefully I can get it first try. It would look really cool. So I'm going to hopefully get in position, and it looks like I have to...
Extremely cool.
Extremely cool, hell yeah. So you clip through the fence, it has no collision, and then you land on other platforms on the way down, and you skip from the top layer of Yahar'gul all the way down to the streets, which is where the boss is located. You can normally access this area from where we were before with Parl, but there is a gate closed off up ahead. This gate right here would normally be closed, but it's open now since we have killed Rom. Rom basically is the catalyst point in the story, where you're basically learning that nothing is really as it seems. Everything's being peeled back, and you're revealing all the secrets of Yharnam. And you go from fighting these type enemies to more or less cosmic beings, cosmic great ones. Taking a little detour in this room to grab a blood gem. I believe that one is 18% physical damage, so that's just an insane boost to our damage that is well worth grabbing. We're taking a certain line down the streets here. These coffins are going to start shooting like blood spears at us. The idea is to just strafe them by running in a diagonal line. And then we're going to be going into the One Reborn boss fight, which honestly, one of the most volatile fights for a marathon, I would say. We need to knock it over, and we're getting crazy legs, so that's not a great start, but we'll see what we can do. Now that we knocked it over, we want to get it knocked over again, while also abusing double hits. We're going to hit the arm and the head at the same time, and they're taking essentially double damage. Looks like we got both knockdowns. It's going pretty well, I would say. Now we just head over to its other leg and just do 3 more hits. And then we can use our cold blood that we got from Rom. That was actually like as well as I could hope for, honestly. Like for a GDQ run, for, you know, a marathon setting where you can't reset, having One Reborn go well is like beautiful. You love to see it. I know Hattie loves to see a nice One Reborn fight.
Yeah, I'm a big One Reborn fan. Like, my enjoyment of boss fights goes up with the number of legs, like, exponentially.
Yeah. So, One Reborn there, we're talking a bit sarcastically because we had a Bloodbourne tournament in 2021, and I swear the amount of runs that just died over and over again to One Reborn was, like, concerning. Just the amount of people that were dying to that boss for whatever reason is just, it was crazy. So yeah, we are entering the Nightmare of Mensis now. This is the last major area in the story. However, it's, you know, it's far from over. We normally just do a beeline to the main story anyway, even in all bosses runs, because we don't actually have the gear required to just steamroll the rest of the game. We are going to be collecting some more upgrade materials from Mensis, as well as the area right above Mensis, and then we will be on our way to the optional bosses and all. So we're gonna have a long run here to Mikolai, so I guess we have a little bit of time to talk about a little bit of like the history, I guess, of the run, if you want. Any kind of like, you know, the development of how we basically went into like a glass cannon route instead of leveling health in the past. Anything you want to talk about in particular, Hattie?
I just want to talk about how much fun I'm having doing another commentary for a GDQ run.
Let's go.
It's been a while. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, sorry. That was off topic.
No, I mean,
this is the worst area in the entire run, in my opinion. Like, because it just happens to be right after all the dumb stuff. Like, you just beat Shadows. I mean, I guess it's the skip, but you just beat the Shadows skip. You just did Hut skip well, or I guess not in this case, but, and you just did YOLO ROM. You didn't die to One Reborn, and now you're here, and there's so many things that can go wrong. So, like, I feel like the first half of this run is very punishing.
Yeah, it's definitely like the most random part of the game, in my opinion, because like after the any percent portion of the run, we end up going into the optional fights, which are like very, very beautifully scripted boss fights, as you see later. Nothing like the horrors that we saw at Father Gascoigne earlier. The idea here is to not lose our head running past these silver beasts. We want to make sure that we don't get flattened. We want to run in a straight line up to the door here. I want to keep it close ear on the silver beast behind me. I'm going to take a quick peek before I head up the stairs. It looks like we're fine. Basically, you want to make sure that you're heading to the door without any enemies chasing you. Oh, looks like this guy wants to chase me. And, okay, we're fine. So
that is the guy right there.
That is the guy of all time for sure. But it's important to have good lines and make sure enemies aren't chasing you when you're going towards doors in this game, because since there are so many of them, it was actually really funny because I was talking with a friend before the run, and we were just counting out how many doors there are like in this game, and every single one of them you can quit out and skip the animation. But as a community, we decided to ban the usage of quitting out on doors, levers, boxes, you know, whatever you want, because it would just add so much time onto the run. So you gotta be extra careful in a game like this when you're approaching a door to not put yourself in a dangerous spot. Here we're picking up some blue elixirs, which are like this invisibility tonic potion thing. It gives us like pseudo invisibility, where enemies will not chase us or bother to attack us if we have it on. Obviously, very, very useful. Won't be using those for a little bit. We're actually gonna use one after this boss, but we have 2 of them. I'm also gonna be grabbing this shortcut elevator here. If we die to the boss in this boss arena up ahead, we're gonna lose a ton of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and just bite the bullet and send the elevator down just to cut our losses if we end up, suffering a death here.
I believe it's about like an 18.5-minute time loss.
Yeah, I mean, rounded up 19
2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty thick.
We'd basically have to just do that entire run through Mensis again if we die here. So we don't want to do that. So I will save you guys the pain and just grab the elevator in case we do die. So Mikolash here is like your standard like Nintendo like maze boss challenge, I guess. The idea is to corral him into a place where he can't really avoid you. And then you want to get him into the room. And as he's going into the room, you want to hit him with 3 instances of damage. So in our case, that's 3 gunshots. That'll make him exit the room that he's currently in and fight us in this small hot hallway where we can just get him in a corner. And he can't really do much. So that's first phase of Miko. We need to grab a Scurrying Beast, which is carrying a couple of Bloodstone chunks here. We're going to make use of a little running attack and transform attack combo here. Beautifully done. So the way that the pellet system works in this game is that it lasts for a minute, and if it's stacked up fully, you're at, I think, plus 80% fizz damage. So we want to optimize our pellets for when we're in combat, and there we eat our pellet exactly when we do, so it wears off right here. And that'll allow us to pop another one. And now that we get him in the mirror, the solution to the puzzle is head down the stairs, head to this balcony right here. And the goal is to flatten him with a plunge tap and then get in his way as he's trying to enter this doorway. And now that we've done 2 instances of damage, we just do 1 more like that, and then he'll start fighting us. Oh, okay.
Hey,
I thought he was dead.
You almost got
That was
the
a
Mike
classic.
Tyson fight. The Mike Tyson classic.
Yeah, so Miko there, he's got a black belt in martial arts, I think. He got it from his mentor.
Taekwondo, maybe.
Honestly, he'd be better off just like bonking us with his cage head.
I feel like that would hurt a lot.
Yeah. So
Solid metal.
So we're done with Mikolash. We're almost done with the main story, actually. This is like the final boss coming up in terms of main story. We're far from done though. First, we're gonna be grabbing another blood gem for more damage later on. This one is also 18%, I believe, just like the one we picked up in Yargul. So we're gonna be stacking multiple % damage buffs on our weapon, and as you're gonna see, we're gonna get ridiculous damage numbers like after we apply all these upgrades and all these blood gems. This is actually a very dangerous area. I forgot to even mention. There are these winter lands that sing you a song that you really don't want to hear. They build up what's called Frenzy, and as you can see, it does a little bit of damage over time, but it also, at max stacks, please don't grab me. At max, like when the bar fills up to max, you'll take a undodgeable proc of damage, which is like 70% of your HP. So you definitely don't want to get frenzied by those enemies there. But luckily I got pretty good RNG there. I was able to tuck in the corner and just Hunter's Mark out. And now we're seeing shadows as normal enemies. They've been relegated. This is their punishment for getting frozen and killed so easily. They're sent up here to defend the Mergo's loft. Just grabbing more upgrade materials for a weapon. And then we're going to be doing a little bit of echo farming here on our way if we can get these pigs to chase us. I'm using that pseudo invisibility potion to run past these pigs. And as you can hear, he's going to be charging behind me. He's not a big deal. These two are kind of the more threatening ones. We're going to be trying to bait them to chase me. I got one to chase me. Now I have to run past these shadows of Yharnam. And the idea is, looks like they're not going to be chasing me, but the idea is that you want to get the pig to chase you. Then they start fighting, and then you can get some extra blood echoes. We didn't get it that time. It's not a big deal. It literally only changes one boss, but you may as well go for it if you can get it. But yeah, we are heading into the final boss of any percent. Murgo's wet nurse. As you can see, there's the baby carriage. There's baby Murgo. And her wet nurse is going to come down and protect her. This is a very tanky boss fight. Do not let the amount of damage we're dealing deceive you. We're doing thousands of damage right now, and she is just eating it all on the face. So this boss here is ultra tanky. You want to be counting out your swings here because you can stagger her at 10. So I think I need like one more. Or maybe the stagger in. Either way, you want to count to 10, and that'll stagger her. And then you want to, there's the stagger. So now we need to count to 10. So that's 4, I think. And then, okay, here I'm going to be just going for pure damage. This is called Nightmare Phase. We really want to end the fight quickly. Okay, oh my god.
Scary.
As you can
Spooky,
see,
scary.
this wet nurse clone was actually about to jump on me, but I was able to end the fight just in time. Yeah, so that is called Nightmare Phase. Normally you could just dodge it, but I was feeling a little bit risky today. Maybe a little bit too risky. But yeah, that's the end of any percent. We still have a lot more to go though. Gonna be going back to the dream, getting our weapon to +9, and then putting on those powerful gems. Water. So once we're done leveling up our weapon and putting on the powerful gems, we're going to be heading to, not the pistol, we're gonna be heading to the lecture hall, and we're gonna be doing a skip called lecture hall skip, where we're gonna jump up and over the railing, hopefully, to get to the first floor. You can access the first floor actually by running down the hall and climbing down a ladder. This skip saves a little bit of time. You also can come to the first floor early in the game if you get the tonsil stone from one of the optional areas. I believe you can get a stone, and you can come down here early in the game. So the boss we're gonna kill is like a pretty early game boss, I would say. There's lecture hall skip, one of the more precise skips in the run, I'd say. But kind of depends on the day, you know. Some days you're hitting it, some days you're not hitting it.
Some days you're on the right sub-pixel. You have to hit like the correct neutron, the correct electron probability cloud of the corner.
Yeah, some days it just does not go your way. Right after lecture hall skip, though, we do have Nightmare Frontier skip. We're in the Nightmare Frontier. And in practice, I actually got a really interesting thing to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen to us today. But we're doing a sit-down gesture because we want to ease ourselves off the edge without walking. Our feet will touch a rock right below the elevator's flat ground platform. And it'll spawn us in on that little rock, so we'll fall and take just enough damage to survive the fall here. Like, it's pretty much like less than a few meters of distance from a lethal fall. Very, very cool skip there. I don't know who found that one, but they made my life a lot easier.
That was Dank Oyster.
Shout out to Dank Oyster. All right. Coming up here, we have Amygdala. Amygdala is, like I said, a pretty early mid-game boss. The way that it works, you have to eat your pellet on a certain line like this. She lands. You do a charge attack on her head. Very close there, almost didn't get the damage. You want to break her arm with some transform attacks. Something extended at her head, and that's it. As you guys can see, things are about to get pretty scripted in terms of the boss fights for this run. Pretty much every boss from now till the end has a strat to follow. Doesn't always go that way, obviously, but every boss from here to like almost the end of the game has its own little strat. They're very, very cool to watch. It's just a culmination of just like all the great minds working on this game way back, you know, before my time even of running this game. We're going to the woods again, guys. We're going, we need to do a skip. We don't need to do a skip. I'm going to be doing a skip that I want to do. It's fun. We're doing cave skip. And what cave skip does allows us to clip into a cave that...
Yeah?
We're not skipping the cave. We're skipping into it. So maybe it should be called cave-in skip.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you pretty much skip the cave portion. I guess it's still a cave. It's just really big. I was gonna say you skip. It's like the opposite. You're skipping into a cave that you normally don't even enter.
The way that cave skip works, we're gonna be running across up, and I got the soft lock. Oops, my bad. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna allow the enemy to kill us here. We can go ahead and we can blame Hattie for that one. It's
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
no, that's my fault. So the way that cave
actually
skip
usually, sorry, I was gonna say there's usually a box there. I actually removed it before this run, just so
Oh,
he
you
would fall in the
clever.
hole.
way that it works is that you're supposed to run along those tombstones and you can jump out of bounds. But there's actually a small little portion you can get stuck on, and it kind of like vortexes you into this little little portion of the tombstones where you just can't escape. And your options are either to just like die or use your hunter's mark. So obviously we're just gonna take the death here, go for it again. It's not a big deal. We don't need the blood echoes anyway. Okay, we got that time.
I thought you were gonna get like ankle shot out of midair there
Yeah.
for a second.
So now that we've clipped out of bounds, we're going to be falling out of bounds onto a pixel. We're going to be rolling from that pixel into the cave. And now we are in the cave, guys. We haven't skipped the cave. We're simply inside of it. We're deeper in the cave than we were before, 10 seconds ago. And now we're going to climb the world's longest ladder. This might set a Guinness World Record, honestly.
I don't even know how it's structurally stable. Can you like turn to the side? I want to see if there's like
There's like some
supports.
ropes.
There's no supports anywhere along this ladder. Like, there's absolutely no way this would not snap in half.
And there's like, it's like rotting wood and it's
Yeah.
all damp from the cave. This one's a bit more structurally sound. Still not
Yeah.
great, but at least I trust this one a little bit more. So yeah. Are you guys impressed yet with the length of this ladder?
Oh, it's like phenomenal, really.
So now we are back in Yarnum. Actually, this is where we start the game. This is the clinic that we started the game in. This is Yusefka's clinic. And we are coming here for two reasons. We need to grab like two optional items. One is an invitation to an optional area later, way later in the game. And one is the very last fragment of the umbilical cord to complete that final side quest for the true final boss. It's about like a 3-minute detour to do this, but obviously it's got both the cord and the summon, so it's one of the no-brainer cords to grab. There's only one more that you could possibly get. I think there's 4 total, and it's from an NPC that would take quite a bit of backtracking to grab. So the most efficient ones are the one you get from the main story. We got one from killing Wetners, this one at the back of the clinic, and then the one in the old workshop that we grabbed early on. Those are the 3 most efficient ones for the run. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a swing at the imposter Yusefka, who is holding the fragment of the umbilical cord. Then we're gonna be throwing away the rest of our blood echoes because we don't need them. We did our final level up already. We're at 43 strength, so we're good to go for the rest of the run in terms of damage. Don't really need anything more. So yeah, that's a little detour to the woods, but I'm glad that sightseeing journey is over. We as the structural integrity police of Yarnum, we're gonna send a notice to whoever's in charge of that ladder. Then we're gonna head back to the cathedral ward once again. A very, very central lamp in the run, I would say. You come back here quite a few times. The reason being it's just the most central. And we're gonna be heading to the upper cathedral ward this time. Instead of just going through to Amelia, we're heading upwards. We're going to be fighting 2 bosses at the uppermost part. We'll be riding the elevator up again, but this time instead of going around to the old Hunter workshop, we're going to be going up because now we have the key up. And we are going so fast that the game does not even know where we are. It doesn't even load the collision. So there is a quit out strat here. I'm not going to be doing it because it'll save RTA if we just head around the backside of this building right here. There is a rifleman out front in a wheelchair. that will snipe us. There he is. Very, very dangerous guy. We're going to be strafing past 2 more wheelchairmen, both with flamethrowers that want to use them, test them out on us. We don't want to be tested out on, though, so we're going to be heading into the upper cathedral ward. One of the spookiest areas, I would say, in the game. Just look at it. Very, very spooky. I'm just shaking in my boots as we speak. How about you, Hattie?
I'm like so spooky scared right now.
Yeah. So this is the upper cathedral.
Grant us OSHA.
We're gonna be taking out the bouncer here. Gonna be giving him a little shot, a little bit of a parry there because he is gonna swing at us. Normally he does like little points. We can just take care of him really easily. We're doing a skip here. It's called Orphanage Key Skip. There is a brain sucker guarding a key, and the idea here is to aim a vertical cleaver R1 through the door, and then if it hits the brain sucker, he'll come to the door most of the time. There we got it. It's pretty precise, honestly, way more than it looks. It's very, very easy to miss, actually. And then we're gonna be taking a quick detour to the right into this room. We need to grab the Cosmic Eye Hunter badge, and that's actually what we're gonna need to buy Beast Blood pellets with Insight. I'm gonna wait for this guy to get out of the doorway. Thank you. We're gonna be using our pellet really early. Normally we use our pellet like as we're walking into a boss fight, but here we're using it really, really early because we want it to run out like pretty quickly, or at least like as soon as we're done with this fight, we want it to be back up again for use. So the boss coming up is the Celestial Emissary, these little blue jelly bean guys, and there's one guy controlling the health bar, and we want to basically target him. So we're doing the strat called YOLO Emissary. It's not very YOLO. The idea is to just run up to the real one, make sure he jumps. Okay, well, that guy just two-tapped me. All right, you guys like the run back up from Cathedral Ward?
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Yeah,
Round
so this time,
robin with Kill Clip and Radiant.
very true. Very true.
Destiny reference? I have a problem. Sorry. Major addiction.
So yeah, not a big deal. I mean, we did lose out on a pellet, but we did pick up an extra one in Mensis. Actually, we picked up the pellet by the mirror. So I had the foresight to foresee this happening, and I picked up the extra pellet in case anything happened. Everything is fine for the time being, unless we die again, and in that case, that would kind of be a problem. But we're just gonna do the normal strat this time, the non-YOLO Emissary. This is a lesson for everyone who is planning on doing a marathon run. Don't talk before a dangerous strategy. Just don't do it. Just wait for you to be done with it, and then you can talk all you want about it.
Just don't even talk at all. Just do the run and be completely silent throughout the entire thing. It's way more entertaining.
Yeah. So a little bit of a skill issue there in Emissary. I may have started running at the wrong angle, too early, too late. I don't know. Whatever it was, it's behind us. We're back once again in the upper cathedral. Gonna say hi to the bouncers once again. How's it going, guys? Oh, they don't want to see me.
Mildly concerning.
Yeah, just a little bit. So it's not a huge deal because the doors are already open. It's not going to be that like much longer to the boss. We're just going to be simply redoing the portion with the bouncer here. That's the normal way of killing him that I was talking about before. And we can head just right through this door, and we should be able to just gun it for the door here. Unless these guys have anything to say about it. I did not consider the fact that these angry beasts are here.
Most of the enemies in this game, you can just like run straight past them, and like that's the most effective way to not get hit by them. So it's like kind of funny, but also sad from a game development standpoint.
You can just whoop. It's like outmaneuver them. So yeah, going back in the fight, we're just gonna be taking them all. We're gonna group them up and take them all out. So that way they don't slap us 4 times in a row again. Once they're all taken care of, we can go ahead and go for the real one, which is this one. He jumps backwards. We do a few more swings, get knocked over, but that's okay. We can just do one more R1. Don't stomp on me! Oh my god. Okay. That is a second death to the jelly beans. Do I have enough pellets? I need 2. I think I have 2.
Yeah, you have enough pellets for this, and then you can go buy more. And if you need
2.
even more, you can go like pick up some Madman's knowledge, or actually it'd probably be faster to pick up the extra stag in Forbidden Woods.
I can just not use a pellet for the this retry here because I'm only gonna have enough insight to buy 3 for a DLC, so I need 1. So I will not use 1 this time around. Should be easy enough. I should have learned my lesson and opened the gate, honestly, and grab the lamp. This time I will. Because I have never died twice in a row. Fun fact, Emissary. This is a world's first, actually. I don't think anyone's died twice in a row to Emissary.
That is definitely a world's among the first.
True. Maybe not the world's first, but one of the world's first. Oh my god. So yeah, basically like the reason why we don't level HP in this run because the pellet, it reduces our defenses by like 90%, I believe, at max stack. So like there's literally 0 point leveling HP in this game. Like I guess if you're doing a casual playthrough, it's fine. But in a speedrun setting, you're always going to be having a pellet active anyway. So there's very little incentive to level HP. Your best bet is to just learn how to survive better during these boss fights. So here I'm going to be not using a pellet, and if I do get tagged, you'll see like it's significantly lower damage. Oh my god! I've never seen that guy so close to me. This is like the craziest run I've ever seen.
This is the spooky, scary run.
This is the getting ready for Halloween scary run.
Yeah. Early. It's a little early.
Yeah.
Or late, depending on how you think about it.
So yeah, gonna be not getting stomped on this time, hopefully. I won't even need the bull paper. It should be fine. Should just take R1, L1 and just go down. Okay, I still take so much damage.
They're doing like the worst attacks.
Okay. You should jump backwards. There it is. Okay. We're past the emissary. Jeez, out of all the things that possibly could have happened on this run, I did not expect emissary to be the one that holds me back for like 8 minutes. I was thinking of a lot more things that could have gone wrong. That definitely was not on my list for sure. But we're past them.
Another perfect demonstration of like a boss that if you die, it just becomes worse in every conceivable way. Like it's easy until it's not easy. Like every boss in this game, you die or like mess up the strat just a tiny bit, it just becomes like free for all.
Yeah. So come up here on Ebriatus. We're gonna be prepping a stagger on her tentacle here. Then we're gonna be using a bolt paper while we're waiting. As soon as the tentacle drops on the ground, we're gonna be rocking the stagger, knocking her head over, doing some more attacks, and then finishing off with a charge R2. And as you can see, just like that, the boss is dead. It's easy till it's not easy.
Case in point, like if you die to Ebriatus, it's impossible. Like, and not impossible, but like this, you're not going to do it fast. Like not that fast, not even close.
There's like certain strategies you can do, but it becomes very, very difficult if you die even once to any boss that requires a certain setup. Like that boss, you need the R1, L1, L1 to proc the stagger and to build up beast meter. It's very, very important that you do that. So here we're going to be using that Blood Drunk Hunter's Eye. We're going to the DLC. We're not going to be exactly going there just yet. We need to kill one more boss because we need insight. So insight's the alternate currency for this game. And use it to buy things. Like earlier, we bought some bloodstone shards with it, but after Amelia. And as you can see, we've been pretty much hoarding all of our insight. Now we're going to use it all. And then we're going to get grabbed by the amygdala outside the cathedral ward. And she is going to take us to the DLC. If we have the Blood Drunk Hunter's Eye in our inventory, you will get ported here. It gives us 3 insight, I believe. We're going to go from 56 to 59. Yeah, so it gives us 3 insight to warp to the DLC. We're gonna grab the lamp, head back to the dream. There's one more boss in the base game. Well, there's a few more, but one more before DLC. It's gonna be none other than the cleric beast. The normally it'd be your first boss, and the first boss that I personally fought in my first playthrough. We're gonna be taking care of it now with a +9 weapon and some pretty insane stats. There's also like categories that fight cleric beasts early. I don't know if you ever ran any of them, Hattie, but early cleric beast is a strat in any percent glitchless. I don't know where else you do it, but recently any percent glitchless got rerouted to do cleric early, and the reasoning is because you can get to the cathedral ward without killing bloodstarved beasts, and it actually ends up being faster to do it like that. But there's no reason to do that because we just have all of our upgrades, all of our gear, so we're just gonna go ahead and take care of it now while we're super strong. As you can see, nothing here deals damage to us. I guess you didn't see any examples of it, but literally nothing will deal damage to you because of how leveled up we are. Your passive defenses just go up.
Like in BL4, you go through this area at like later as well. And these same enemies will actually be scary occasionally, like the dogs.
This brick troll right here.
Oh yeah.
You get stuck and get tagged. Okay, so cleric is gonna go down in about 5 hits here. Hopefully I can get the stamina correct. Be 3 R1s, 2 L1s because we're 43 strength, not 44. I don't know how we did it, Hattie. We killed cleric beast.
Pretty cringe. Losing
no hit,
1/10 of a second.
No hit, no parry, no holding controller upside down.
Beast?
No,
that's crazy, dude.
You can shoot it in the head, and then his head falls over, but it's more of a limb break.
I'm just imagining like this giant limb coming down. You shoot him, and oh no, he's just suddenly like incapacitated.
Yeah, so we're buying a blood rock, and we're also buying 3 beast blood pellets. As you can see, our beast meter is like massive right now, actually. If you dump all your insight at once, and if you dump a large sum at once, it gives you a bunch of beasthood because it's basically like it's extending your meter. Insight, like it bogs down both your beast meter and your frenzy resist, so you actually like want to be getting rid of it as soon as possible. From like a practicality standpoint, obviously there's like story reasons to be above a certain amount of insight. You can see like new enemies or whatever. But from a practicality standpoint, from a speedrun standpoint, having as little insight as possible is almost always better. Because at low beasthood, you're not hitting those damage thresholds with that beast blood pellet. Like, hang on, let me not die to the beastmen here. For example, before Ebrietis, I think we only have like 280 beasthood, so we're missing out on that 300 beasthood damage threshold. So you just want to be as low as possible. And we've routed every purchase to dump insight, pretty efficiently. Want to talk about the this guy, this fiery guy that we just?
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the tentacle guy that sometimes he gets killed by the little guys.
That too. Sometimes these little guys up front can win, and it's the craziest thing ever.
But the fire guy in there looks like Cleric Beast, sounds like Cleric Beast, smells like Cleric Beast, not Cleric Beast.
That's pretty crazy.
That is a boss fight for later.
Yeah.
Once you grab a little key item.
We did grab a key item first, though, because in order to get that key item, we have to grab this one.
Yeah.
It's the eye pendant, and that's responsible for lowering an elevator in the DLC. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a little bit of an RTA strat by baiting this enemy, the boomhammer enemy, to come out of his hiding. Of course, like we said, Hattie, before the run.
That was mildly frightening.
He goes, oh man. So Hattie and I, before the run, we were talking about this guy, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do the RTA strat for the run. It has not once gone wrong on me. And of course, during the real run, we have to roll, we have to, run for our lives. So we're using that suit invisibility potion. We're going to be running through this blood lake, and we are hopefully going to be bypassing the hunter on the ladder right here. There's a very, very rare RNG where he will shoot us 3 times and knock us off the ladder and kill us. But like I said, it's very, very rare. Thankfully, we didn't get it. Otherwise, we have to run through the DLC again. So coming up here, we have Ludwig. Ludwig is the first boss in the DLC. He's first on our list of bosses to kill. And he's going to go down pretty easily if we can get the strat to go right. It is one of those strats that is kind of hit or miss. If you can land it, it goes well. If not, it can get kind of chaotic. So hopefully I will get it first try. Okay, that should be good. Hopefully he does nice. the phase 2 thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He will.
Yeah, we're
just need an extra hit.
Okay. That one kind of scared me because of the way things have been going, because that one is a very, very bad death to take, honestly. So Ludwig there, he goes down very quickly in all bosses because we're just so leveled up, and we have a +10 weapon. We have the fire paper. Actually, funnily enough, the fire paper is not even used to deal damage. It's simply just so that fire damage on a killing blow kills enemies quicker, because they die with a different animation, and it turns out that fire is actually quicker in a lot of cases. Fun little fact about fire paper, your daily fun fact of the day about Bloodbourne.
Quicker on shadows too, funnily enough, even though they're not beasts, which is, I mean, are they? Like, in the game's code, are they considered beasts?
As far as I know, they're not, but they're also not kin, so I don't know what they count as.
Yeah, it's weird. Just because they have, like, I guess it's a Lord of the Rings reference. Genuinely the only thing I can think of that they would be weaker to fire.
Yeah, I mean, it provides a quicker death animation for most enemies in general, even like those Yarnamites, I think they die quicker to fire. I'm not certain on that, but yeah, we don't even use it for that. That's the funny thing. It's like we could have used it earlier on a boss like Parl, for example, because he would have died quicker as well. But Ludwig's death animation is like really slow. Otherwise, you can be standing at the fall gate for like 4 or 5 seconds. Otherwise. So yeah, we're heading up the research hall. As you can see, there are these patients here that have bloated heads. They are very vicious, and they will not show any mercy to us. We're going to be trying to run past them, sneak past them all. And there's that dude right there holding the IV, which is very, very scary. Thankfully, Hattie a long time ago taught me a strat that gets past them pretty consistently. And then we're going to be at the top of the clock tower. We need to push this lever. And funnily enough, Miyazaki put 2 little rats here. Very fun stuff.
That is not a little rat. That is a massive rat. I've never seen a rat that big.
Miyazaki put these wonderful creatures here to decentivize you from pulling the lever and running like I did there. We're going to be fighting the second boss in the DLC here, the Living Failures. And it's going to be a bit of a scripted fight. If we can get the loop going, we're going to see if we can get it going. But the idea is to kill this one before the second one can get up from spawning. So we parry his slam, and then we can get some damage off on him. And then this one we want to hit once or twice, then he's going to do an attack, hopefully. Parry the attack. And then we just want to spawn camp this one as they appear. We're going to build up a little bit of beasthood there with a transform attack. And we want to spawn camp them. Now that we're max speed, we can just spam R1 on them. And since they all share health bar, you can just keep wailing on the one even if it's dead, and it'll just take more damage.
That is the marathon exclusive cycle. Like
The marathon
in an actual
exclusive?
run, you just get like 500 orbs landing exactly when he spawns.
Yep. That guy to our left, you can also farm him over and over again, but he has way less HP, so you don't get as many hits off on before they just collapse and the new one spawns. So that's Living Failures. Very, very straightforward boss fight. And now we're going to be doing a quit out to extend our beast meter. The beast meter, as you can see, it's still full. And even though our pellet has run out and we can pop a fresh one, our beast meter is still full. The way that beast fed works in this game is that once it runs out, your entire meter collapses and you don't have any meter left. So we abuse a quit out there so we can have the beast meter for Maria. Maria is going to be 7 hits. Hopefully we can get them off so we can get the clean strat here for Maria. The idea is to get 7 hits, so we'll count them out. That's 3. And now we need 3 more. 1, 2. Okay, that's a little bit scary. Okay, now she's gonna do phase 2. I don't know if we can get... Okay, we're gonna play it safe here. We're gonna do just 4. Then we're gonna trigger her phase 2.
That was probably smart.
And then we're just gonna take her out. So unluckily we don't get the clean 1 cycle there on phase 2, but we do react to what she does, and we can just trigger the phase 2. The way it's supposed to work is that you get the 7 hits, you get R1, L1, L1, R1, L1, L1, and then she'll do another attack, and then you can hit her in the back, rhyming accidentally, and then she'll do she'll do phase 2 where she puts her swords in and infuses them with the blood. You can get 5 hits off there, and then you get 5 more because she just does phase 3 right away because you do so much damage to her. But there we have to back off a bit and just do a slightly less clean but way safer strat. But yeah, that's Maria. We're now moving on to the fishing hamlet, which is the last area progression in the DLC. You guys telling us about Bergenworth. He's not like Bergenworth very much. So we're basically trying to take out Kaz's child, who washed up on shore. And basically, what you're seeing here is the manifestation of all of the sick experiments that the church did on this seemingly innocent fishing hamlet. All the people have gone mad, turned into fishmen. There's even fish dogs. They all have harpoons. They're all angry at us. They all want us dead.
This is the result of overfishing. Well, I guess underfishing is a lot of fish.
Okay. So we were also talking about this earlier today, or at least like before the run. We were talking about possibly things that could... Oh my God.
That could happen.
Oh my God. Okay, we're doing Hamlet skip here. We're gonna run off the rooftop. We're gonna land on the ground and quit out. Hopefully we get the skip. So that's YOLO fishing Hamlet. And it's funny because like normally you say, oh, don't do YOLO strat in a marathon. But I was talking to a Hattie earlier, and it's actually like way safer in my opinion, because like on the off chance like you get maybe 1 or 2 hits. But anyway, we're out of bounds. We need to get back inbound, so we're gonna run into the wall, into this rock. We ended up getting it. I'm very, very happy we didn't get stuck out of bounds there. And we're gonna be taking out Kaz's child here, the orphan of Kaz. It's going to be a sequence of parries. Basically, we're gonna get it stuck in a loop of parries. We're gonna hope that it goes well. Yeah, you want to like help me out with this?
You want me to?
Okay, we need to get another backstab here.
I'll let you.
So, okay, I ended up messing it up, but the idea here is to get Orphan stuck in this loop where he'll keep doing the same attack over and over again. We're going to be parrying, punishing, parrying, punishing, rinse and repeat until the boss is dead.
this type of strat for Orphan has been around for quite a long time, actually. But relatively recently, we implemented it into all bosses. The strat we were using before was to chain backstabs on Orphan, which looks a lot more impressive, but honestly is quite a bit easier than the parry strat. Like, the parry strat is scary. If you don't heal before and you like mistime your parry just slightly and Orphan like bonks you on the head, you're just dead. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you could time it right, but it's one of those deaths that just like super punishing, or one of those strats that's super punishing to fail.
Yeah, so like what ended up happening there, the reason why it was so weird is because like he basically like he has two different openers. You can either do like that like scoop, which I don't really like, or you can jump. The jump, in my opinion, is like much better RNG. But the reason being that when he scoops, his positioning according to Cause's corpse is like really weird. And then when I backstabbed him, it kind of put me like on a weird like positioning. So it was kind of just like odd there. We had to fix it. We ended up doing just fine. You just got to get it in a loop like that. And then
the jump gives you a counter hit too, versus
that is true.
Scoop doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah, there we are. We're just dumping our insight once again. We need to because we killed a bunch of bosses in the DLC. We had a bunch of insight, and we need to dump all that. We also need more pellets because we're all out. So we're gonna purchase, a bunch of pellets, a bunch of bullet paper, and then an elixir for later. We're approaching the last boss of the DLC. We're going to go into that cathedral again with that cleric beast looking enemy, the cleric beast type enemy, you could call him. But yeah, basically it's going to be, this is the fire version. It shares like the exact same moveset almost, save for a couple of moves, but it is very, very similar to the cleric beast, just like end game HP and damage. So
if you get more blood, I wasn't even paying attention.
I don't think we did, no. So that means there's a hunter that will say more blood, which is confirmation for Bloodbourne 2, but he didn't say it, so I guess it's canceled.
It's canceled.
It's never happening.
Guys.
Gonna be a series of hits here. Gonna take a lot of focus, so I will try my best to focus here. We want to get 5 swings, and then he'll backstep. We want to get 5 more swings. Want to make sure you're aiming downward so you don't hit the wrong limb here.
This is probably the single most optimized strat in the entire game. Like, it doesn't waste any stamina. It uses like the highest damage combo for almost every combo. It's a very, very smart. It's a genius strat from our boy This Hex.
Yeah, that one just is a culmination of just the great minds of, and pretty much every strat in this game is just like a culmination of everyone coming together and just finding the most optimal way to kill bosses. That one is just beautiful. I love doing that strat, especially when it goes well, especially when you don't get flattened by the explosion.
That's ideal.
Yeah. So we are now done with the DLC, and we are going to be heading towards the last 2 bosses of the main game before we finish it off. It's going to be, they're both being located in the Hemwick Charnel Lane. This area, like the Nightmare Frontier that we were in earlier, it's early game. You're not supposed to really be here at this point in the game. You're supposed to have already cleared it out by now. So we're not going to really be troubled by the enemies here. However, the enemy / boss in the next area, which is going to be the Castle Canehurst, that is going to be much more scaled up to our current level, and that one will be much more accurate, I guess, to our current state. So these enemies are pretty much trivial here. The only thing that possibly can happen is like if the rifleman to my left like shoots this barrel and I explode. But that's not going to happen today,
I didn't know
thankfully.
there was a barrel.
Yeah, there's explosive barrels to the right, and if the rifleman shoots them, then they explode.
Okay.
I don't know how much damage they deal, but
Top 10 phobias while I'm 1 hour into a run now. Boom.
Yeah, so now that I've struck fear in the hearts of many Bloodbourne runners, We're heading into the Hemwick lane. None of these enemies, like I said, are really going to pose much of a threat. We're just beelining it towards the boss here. Bad, you fiend! Bad, you fiend! They're not very happy with our presence here. I just love the enemies in this game. I love the enemies. Good, yeah. They have such like funny sound effects. Yeah. Ow. Running past a brick troll. We got bricked in the process, so that
I feel like getting
sucks.
smacked with a brick by like Dwayne The Rock Johnson would hurt a lot more.
Oh, do a little bit more damage than that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's never happened to me in real life, but I don't know if I
personal
wanted to.
Yeah, so we're heading towards the end of the level. We're gonna be using this blue elixir to make ourselves invisible for the latter half of the area. We're gonna be running past a bunch of the dogs, like the I don't even know what you call them, like the shaded dogs, the shadow dogs. I don't even know what they even are, but we don't want them to aggro onto us because we want to just have a smooth line up to the boss arena. That's why we actually opt to choose one or to drink one. If not, these dogs would be harassing the entire way. Also, this trio right here in front of the doorway that blocks the Witches of Hemwick would be, harassing me as well. So it is faster to use the elixir here. We are going to have the elixir run out just in time. It's timed perfectly so that we don't have to wait. I'm going to pop our pellet here, and the Witches of Hemwick is going to be an absolute joke. Unless we get Mario'd, which is actually something that can happen.
Can't just call it a joke before.
Yeah, so it's gonna be 5 hits on either one, and then we're gonna hope these guys don't attack me. We're gonna hop on top of this barrel right here. We're gonna quit out of the game as they all disappear and we get our blood echoes. Getting the blood echoes means the boss is dead and we've killed it. It's properly crossed off our list for all bosses. And once you quit out on top of a barrel, while the arena is like switching from unstable to stable ground, there's a small window where you can quit out. And as you guys will see, I'll load back in outside of the boss arena with the boss dead, with all the enemies reset. So very, very convenient strat here.
Is a hilarious strat because quitting out takes, I don't know, roughly 20 seconds and that skip saves 2. So it's like of in-game time, I mean.
Yeah, so not like the most marathon optimal strat, but you do want to quit out anyway because the enemies there will chase you all the way to the carriage here. So we're heading to the Forsaken Castle here. This is the final optional area before the final boss, or bosses, I guess I should say. And I'll do a quick check to see if I made sure to, I consumed all the cords so I don't have to worry about the incident that happened on a run on stream before. Where I killed the final boss but did not eat all the cords. So yeah, K-Nurse here. It's going to be, again, a straight line to the boss. We're going to be avoiding the blood lickers here, the ones from DLC. These like mosquito type enemies. I don't even know. They're pretty disgusting. So don't want to look at them. They're pretty frightening. Yeah. They spit poison at you as well, which is very rude. So this castle is cursed. There's women here that are crying, and basically they're controlled by this enemy who has a blow dart. And if he shoots the blow dart at you, then he'll aggro all of them onto you in this room coming up ahead. And you definitely don't want that to happen. So we're gonna try our best to not have that happen. If so, then we'll have to avoid. Obviously, there's actually no way of avoiding them, but he'll be shooting blow darts at me while I'm climbing the ladder, and he'll just knock me off randomly.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some of the runs of all time lose like several minutes to just getting knocked off the ladder over and over again. I'm like, just go kill the guy.
Yeah, so there we didn't trigger him. We were able to strafe the darts very, very efficiently. We're doing a little skip here. Looks pretty intended, honestly. The fact that you can just jump over this bookcase, like that's...
And the fact that there's like a texture on the top of the bookcase, I feel like it's intended.
Yeah. So we end up revealing the bookshelf at the ladder. We're going to be taking a heal, and then we're going to be simply climbing the ladder. And this pretty much bypasses the entire area. There's like an outside section of this upper floor. There's like an optional area with a bunch of loot in it. We don't need any of that though. We are simply just heading onwards to the boss of the area, which is going to be Martyr Ligarius. Gonna be not dropping late on this rooftop. There's actually a gargoyle there. And I guess it's called the K-Dub Goyle, Hattie.
Yeah.
Why is that?
So like really early on, before you were allowed to quit out in Bloodbourne, because that would have circumvented this whole clip. K Woody got grabbed. K Woody is another speedrunner / no-hit runner / awesome dude. He got grabbed by one of the gargoyles. And since you're not allowed to quit out, it just like ate him to death. And this is like the end of the run, so it forever was dubbed as the K-Dub Goyle.
So ever since then, everyone's been dropping really, really early on that rooftop.
Yeah.
So here we're fighting Martyr Ligarius. We got the alternate opener here, actually. There's 2 openers you can do. There's one where he summons a big skull and one where he summons little ones. Gonna be doing R1, L1 combos until he does this phase transition. Then we just do 2 backstabs as soon as phase 2 starts. And that is Ligarius. He is done. And that is the end of the final, or the optional bosses. Now we just need to go back to the dream and clean up the final bosses, which will be us making our decision at Gehrman. We also consumed all the cords, so we will be fulfilling that optional side quest to summon the true final boss. Yeah, so it's been a run with ups and downs for sure. Definitely not the cleanest showing of Bloodbourne, but it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope I can give a good showing on the final bosses. It's going to be Gehrman himself, the first hunter. We're gonna shoot him in the leg, which is gonna make him very mad. And we're gonna backstab this opener. Most of the time you want to parry him. Like this tap right here. Okay, looks like that wasn't... Okay, looks like we're getting another one. We have the helicopter Gehrman.
Very nice.
And now we are proccing his phase 2, which is him with blade and gun. Now we need to proc his phase 3. We're gonna backstab him before his hyper armor starts. We need 2 more hits here, I think, around. Should be just these 2, and that is a very clean Gehrman.
Super clean fight.
Yeah, the idea is to get the next boss down before the pellet runs out, so it's very, very essential that you get a good Gehrman. This is gonna be the Moon Presence. We're gonna hope this goes well for us. Oh, looks like that was a really weird start.
The clown nose opening.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
This is the honk honk presence.
We got it under control though.
Big shoes, tiny car opening.
Yeah, so this is the Moon Presence. It goes down pretty quickly. Time will be when this cutscene starts playing here. Normally we would quit out, but I'll let the cutscene play for you guys. Time will be as soon as the final cutscene plays. Blood Echoes, that is Bloodbourne all bosses for you. Time. Very nice.
GG.
Thank you. Yeah, that was definitely not the cleanest showing, but I mean, I'm kind of sad I went a little bit over estimate, but that was still pretty good. I still enjoyed that.
It was a very fun run to watch, and I mean, the emissary was not the nicest, so it's perfectly understandable.
We got crushed twice. So.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can give my shout outs to the Souls speedrunning community, of course, for raising me up as a speedrunner. I basically started out with Demon Souls and then Bloodbourne, and then, hang on, this outro is very, very loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. But yeah, I started out as a Demon Souls runner, and then I switched over to Bloodbourne. Thank you so much to the Souls speedrunning community. If you guys want to learn these speedruns, please check us out. We have a wiki that has a link to our Discord. There's plenty of people that are willing to help you out with all the Souls games. Tons of resources, skips, tricks, guides, whatever. Please check us out. I want to thank Ahadi for coming on and doing commentary. Thank you for taking time out of your night to do this. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on. It was way better with you on than doing it solo.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I'm glad.
Yeah, so Ahadi streams on Twitch as seen on screen. That's his Twitch channel. Same as myself. My Twitch channel will be twitch.tv/blanks, BLANXZ. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's all. I really appreciate you guys for inviting us on for this show. Thank you, GDQ. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's it.
Love you guys.
Absolutely.
Have a great
I want to
night.
thank both of you for being able to run, and thank you again for doing that great run of Bloodbourne. Before we do go to the wrap it up here, I do want to say, one, if you have not checked out Blank's Aura Hattie, you can find the links in chat. And two, if you liked Blank's run, I believe he has a run of Elden Ring in the upcoming SGDQ coming up. So that should be exciting to see. That being said, thank you for watching this episode of Speedruns from the Crypt. It was fun looking at a lot of games that kind of show, you know, I guess an area of motherhood in a way. If you're watching this on YouTube, you probably already celebrated Mother's Day. If you're watching this on Twitch, well, it's coming up here in the US, so there you go. It's a happy reminder, huh? Before we do head off, I do want to say we have a couple of events coming up on the GDQ side. On June 1st and 2nd, we have Sonic and the Sidekicks, and you can use !Sonic to find more information. And on May 18th and 19th, we're going to be having our first Asian American and Pacific Islander American Heritage Month celebration, where you can find 2 full days of showcases, and you can find more information on that using !AAPI in chat. That being said, I do want to say thank you all for watching. We are Speedruns from the Crypt. We'll be back in about 2 weeks. We do have a lot of fun horror all the time. I've been your host, Dices. I tend to plan a lot of these shows out, and if you're ever curious about how I do that or anything about it, you can find my name somewhere around here. Anyway, if you missed any of today's shows, we will be having a replay of both Challenger Approaching and Speedruns from the Crypt. And tomorrow, Friday, Friday, 7 p.m., will be Going Places and Passion Project. That being said, have a wonderful